me a 10 count.
Go.
All right, welcome to Build Live, presented by Channel 9. My name is Seth Juarez.
I'm Christina Warren.
And we are excited to do a little bit of a pre-show to give you behind-the-scenes look of what it took to get ready. How you doing, Christina?
I'm doing great.
This is your first build, right?
This is my first build as a Microsoft employee.
Okay, it's a little bit different from the other side. Or tell us what you did before.
So I used to be a technology journalist. So I used to be, one of the people in the press. And so, it was always exciting to come, and I knew a lot of work went into it, but it just kind of seemed to magically appear. And now I've seen how much hard work goes into this conference.
There's thousands of people that have been working on this.
Thousands, yeah.
And there's a lot of good content that's going to be coming up. In fact, what we did is we came a little bit before, a couple of days ago.
Yep.
We want to show you behind the scenes. We have a little video that shows you what it actually looks like here when there's nobody here.
Yes.
Let's roll that right now. Thanks so much, future Seth and Christina. You're looking quite dapper.
We're good-looking people.
I think so. Welcome to the 2018 edition of Microsoft Build. We have the Microsoft Build live stage right behind us.
Right behind us.
It's pretty cool. I'm so excited. It's new. It's bold.
It's beautiful, if I can say.
Those are all adjectives that have been used to describe me, I think.
Yeah.
Well, my mom. Mostly.
Okay.
So we're going to have a ton of cool content coming out of their live shows, just like you would expect. We're going to have the kickoff that you're watching right now. We're going to have also the keynotes, and then we're also going to have sessions and people, influencers, people that make the products come on stage and tell you all about what's going on. I'm pretty excited.
Absolutely. We want to hear from you, so use that live chat and ask your questions. But we're super stoked to be here, and this is my first build as an employee.
I know. I'm so glad to be your co-host.
I'm glad to be your co-host.
Hey, but we've got a ton of other things going on right in this area. We have a podcast booth just over here. Tell us about that.
So there are going to be 20 different podcasts, or 20 different podcast hosts, 16 different podcasts. They're going to be recording live, doing interviews with execs, and then putting them on their own channels. It's awesome, and one of the really cool things that we've got going on. I love it.
I'm pretty excited. But the best thing, obviously, is the keynote. And they gave us badges to go in and look.
We do.
So we're going to go backstage and see what the keynote area looks like. Should we go?
We got the badges. Let's check it out.
Let's do it. This is the keynote area where I'm pretty sure you can fit at least 60 million people.
Actually, closer to 6,000.
Right, that's why she's here. But you might even see like some cool Microsoft celebrities just like walking around.
Yeah, you never know.
And I'm pretty excited, because I don't get to talk to these people very often.
No.
I don't see them, right? And so it's just, I'm pretty excited. Maybe I'll run into someone like, I don't know, famous like Donovan Brown, for example.
Or Paige Bailey.
Oh, I know, right? I'm pretty excited.
It's amazing. No, this auditorium is huge, and as you can see, like, I feel small just standing here. Like, this is on a mammoth scale. These screens, that's hardcore.
And there's a ton of cool stuff going on, right? There's going to be tons of keynotes. I think there's 2 in a row, and there's another one on Tuesday.
And another on Tuesday. So we've got Satya's vision keynote, and then there's the technical keynote, Scott Guthrie, and then on Tuesday, Joe Belfiore is doing a keynote. So lots and lots of stuff.
I'm excited to see what they have to say. All right, so we're going to go backstage and see what's over there, and then we're going to toss it back.
All right, so now we are backstage where all of the tech magic happens before the keynote airs. And this place, how long has this taken for them to set up?
I think they started last Thursday, so it's taken literally years.
Yeah, I mean, well, 4 days, but...
Right, I mean, that's close. Cosmically speaking.
Hello， 各位收看 YouTube 直播的频道的朋友，大家好，大家晚安。
Like 50, but...
大家现在有听得到那个吗？我们现场的声音吗？有吗？有吗？
Take a look at this goodness. This is how you're hearing people.
You can't trust wireless.
Not with so many wireless things happening all over the place, right?
No.
好，其实呢，我们正式的 Microsoft 的 Build 呢，会在台湾时间的11点半正式开始。那在现在到11点半的时间之内呢，我们这边呢就是来这边，大家可以直接从我们 YouTube 旁边的 Channel 这边可以有一些留言跟聊天的讯息。如果说大家针对等一下 Build 有任何的问题，或者是我们现场比如说声音太小，或者是有任何状况的话，都可以直接在旁边回复留言。然后呢，我们这边就会适时的来做一些调整。大家晚安，大家好。好，其实呢，这是我们台湾微软第一次尝试在 YouTube 上面做直播，所以呢，如果有任何需要改进的地方呢，就请麻烦大家直接跟我们做第一时间的回复。 好，我们今天呢会从深夜的11点半一直陪伴大家到凌晨的2点，就是呢我们会做整场 Microsoft Build 开发者大会的直播。好，当然大家现在可能看到的画面只有我跟 Eric， 但其实不然，好吗？我们今天的画面，我们今天陪伴我们到深夜的人呢，总共有非常多的工作人员在现场。
Yeah, Snapchat glasses to me are the epitome of hipsterness.
They are, but you know what? The real epitome of hipsterness is using them to upload to Instagram.
That's true. I did have sriracha sauce in my back pocket, which is kind of hipster as well.
True.
So what do we got going on today?
All right. So in addition to the keynote, which is obviously going to be Satya's keynote.
好，那我们现在呢要跟大家介绍一下我们今天邀请到的来宾。先从我们的右手边第一位开始，第一位呢是我们 R-Ladies 的社群代表米娅。哎，拿个麦克风，拿麦克风说
，Hello， 大家晚安。
晚安，晚安，大家好。再来呢，第2位呢是我们 TWMVC 的社群代表 Dino。
大家好，我是 Dino。
Dino 好
，Dino。
没关系，好，马上 Q 第3位。第3位呢是我们 TWMVC 社群的代表 Demo。
大家好，我是 Demo。
耶，大家好，大家晚安，耶。然后第4位呢是我们 Azure 台湾社群代表 Money 子超。
大家好，我是 Azure 台湾的 Money。
你好，你好 ，Money 好。好，接下来呢，最后一位呢是我们 Study for TW 的 Duran。
大家好，我是 Study for TW 的 Duran。
你好，你好，大家第一次直播，第一次拿麦克风，都大家都非常紧张。好。这是我们以上我们5位的社群代表，今天呢会跟着我们的 Build， 然后呢会跟大家直接分享大家第一手得到的消息。那同时呢，这些社群代表呢也都各自在业界扮演举足轻重的角色，所以呢他们也会直接跟我们说可能业界会发生到的一些问题跟事情。然后经过这些 Build 新释出的一些功能之后呢，它其实可以做到怎么样子的一个改善，或者是缩短大家的开发时间。好。当然呢，我们今天除了社群代表之外呢，我们也有请到我们台湾微软的技术传教士 Eric 也到我们现场来为大家做一个零时差的中文直播的分享。让我们在荧幕前面掌声欢迎 Eric。
好谢谢各位谢谢各位好朋友，还有这个社群的伙伴，还有各路的开发人员这个晚上不睡觉的时间跟我们一起来关注目前在美国时间西岸这个5月7号正在举行微软年度的开发者大会 Build 2018。那其实 Build 的这个开发者大会呢，早期在微软在举办开发者大会，它原名是叫 PDC Professional Developer Conference。那在2011年的时候，当年这个为了释出这个 Windows 8， 然后微软号召 Developer 来跟这个微软一起来 Build 这个 Windows， 所以在2011年的时候，将这个 PDC 的这个 Developer Conference 改名叫 Build， 所以 Build 到现在也这个第8个年头了。那过去这个每一年 Build 都是微软最新的开发技术宣传还有这个发布的一个最重要的时间。那我们今天2018也势必会有带来很多微软最近 focus 在云端、在 AI、在物联网、Windows、Microsoft 365，然后 Security 相关很多的这个跟开发者息息相关的议题，都会在这2-3天的 Build 开发大会中释出。好，那等一下这个11点半就会我们同步的一同观看在美国这个西雅图举办的 Build。那在这个之前呢，我们先来回顾一下过去3年因为虽然这个今年 Build 已经是第8年了，但是过去3年我们可以看一下它的一些技术发展的脉络，然后我们也可以来期待一下今天晚上在 Microsoft Build 2018可能会有什么样新的技术来产生或者是发布。那首先在3年前2015年当时这个开场的时候，萨提亚跟大家介绍我们微软的一个mission empower every person, every organization to achieve more。那在这样子的一个气氛 之下，跟大家宣布，我们特别针对3个领域，首先 Intelligent Cloud，然后还有 More Personal Computing， 以及 Reinvent Business Process， 来跟开发者来宣示说，我们将会在这三个大的重要领域上面，投入更多的资源，在开发新的应用，来达到这个更多崭新的这个应用情境。那在2年前，2016，萨提亚开场的时候呢，跟大家介绍了这个 Conversation as a Platform， 所以开始带起了很多人在开发跟 AI、跟对话式、交谈式、对话机器人等等的这些新的应用。所以2016年主要的 theme 从 Conversation as a Platform 带出了Intelligence 这些相关应用的重要性。那在去年2017年我们将这个Cloud 的发展还有 AI 的发展再推向另外一个高峰，所以 Satya 在去年宣布了 Intelligent Edge 跟 Intelligent Cloud 的时代来临，所以开发人员在开发应用程式的时候，过去我们常常将很多的应用，物联网的应用、AI 的应用，我们可能都借助 Cloud 的这个弹性的资源来做运算，来做开发。但是在这个物联网的应用情境，甚至装备、装置部署的这个数量越来越多的情况之下，很多不需要联网的需求，不需要联网就能够做一些应用的需求，其实越来越重要。所以在 Edge 端的开发我们也是投入了相当多的资源在这个部分。所以这一路以来，我们看到了 Azure 许多的进展，在 IoT 去年底也宣布了 IoT Edge 的这个部分。那 AI 的部分更不用说，现在你基本上 follow 所有的微软的跟开发相关的研讨会也好，或者是一些新的 sample code 新的功能，其实或多或少都有融入这个 AI 的部分，因为我们有这个研究院，我们有 AI&R 的这样子的一个强大的研究团队，我们希望把 AI 的这样子的能力把它让所有的开发人员都可以轻松的来使用它，也就是我们提的这个 democratize AI 的精神。所以我们让入门的 developer 有 cognitive service 这样子非常容易入门的 AI 服务，让大家可以立即上手。那同时我们针对专业的 developer、专业的 AI developer， 我们也有这个很强大的运算平台，甚至跟 NVIDIA 合作的这个 GPU 的虚拟机器，来提供给 AI developer 一个很强大的平台。好，所以很快 Build 2018即将开始，所以各位 developer 请跟我们一同来观赏。那我们除了让 MVP 专家提供给大家更多的来自社群、来自 developer 的 insight 之外，那当然我们这个 Microsoft 台湾呢也会准备一些小礼物、赠品，甚至如果你想要在台湾本地体验到跟 Build 几乎是相同等级的这个研讨会，在5月底我们在台湾也有举办了这个 Microsoft Developer Days、Dev Days 这样的活动，5月28到5月30，那也欢迎大家报名。我们在活动中也会针对非常热心而且热血的开发人员来做一些小活动，来抽奖送出我们几张 Dev Days 的门票。好，所以现在就让我们准备来观赏今年的 Microsoft Build 2018。 大家有什么问题也都可以直接利用在这个直播旁边的这个聊天室发送讯息，不管是你要趁乱告白，还是有什么赞叹的心得，都可以直接在聊天室里头公布。那也随时密切关注我们的这个小妹帮手们会不会有一些讯息跳出来让大家抢答，或者是填问卷等等。好，所以如果你想要抽到赠品的话，一定要密切的注意我们这个直播的活动。过去3年，为什么带大家回顾过去3年？因为过去3年是我有亲自去这个Build 的会场参加，所以大概可以预测，等一下开场就是萨提亚，好，应该不会有其他人跳出来。好啦，轻松一点，对，等一下一定是 Welcome， 什么 Microsoft CEO 萨提亚纳德拉之类的 ，OK。好，其实这个预测当然是这个不算预测啦，可是也跟大家讲一个重点，就是开场当然是定调今年整个 Microsoft Build 它的一个基本精神，就像我刚刚跟大家说的，2016年 Conversation as a Platform，2017 Intelligent Edge、Intelligent Cloud， 好，所以今天开场，好，这个萨提亚也会很快的带大家了解这一次我们如何来带出今年的跟开发者最直接密切关联的这些服务。那其实也可以告诉各位一些小秘密，就是说在 Build 的这个发布的这个期间，其实你这个时候大概去逛一些 Microsoft 的 blog 例如说这个 Azure 的这个 blog， 你应该就可以开始慢慢看到一些今天才会 announce 的一些服务，这个开始陆陆续续的发布了。因为有的时候可能大家这个突然到了深夜之后想睡觉，然后这个一时精神不济，没有 follow 到一些讯息，没有关系。其实刚才看到有这个朋友提问会不会 VOD？ 第一个当然我们直播的内容，好，我们直播的内容当然都会保存下来。如果说没有特别奇怪的内容的话，都会呈现给大家。那当然我们也希望说，如果有一些很特别的桥段，事后我们也可以剪辑给大家，回味一下某一些特别精彩的 demo 啦，或者是一些很重要的展示。那也许各位可能在做开发工作，在做这个接案的工作啦，要跟客户做 POC， 做这个一些报告的话，这些都会是一个很不错的素材。对，如果大家都看过的话，那这样将来我出门之后，我就不用浪费时间再播影片给大家看了。好，所以希望大家都能够这个关注这场活动，然后了解 Microsoft 一直以来还是很看重 developer 因为我们跟 developer 一起成长 ，developer 在 Microsoft 的 platform 上面 build solution、build application， 我们才会更好。好，活动即将开始了。
Please welcome Corporate Vice President, Growth and Ecosystem, Microsoft, Charlotte Yarkoni.
开场的居然不是 CEO 好了，这个是那个微软的那个负责 Grow and Ecosystem 的大老板，好 Charlotte。
Welcome to Seattle and opening day of Build 2018.
所以他应该是微软里面负责这个跟 developer 相关事务的最高阶的长官了。他是大老板啊。这次 keynote 一样会有2场，不过重点还是在今天的部分。My teams and I advocate for you and your businesses across our product and engineering teams every day. We're listening and we want to hear from you. A year ago, I was sitting where you are. It was my first Build conference.
I had been with Microsoft a little less than 8 months.
好 ，Charlotte 是负责这个微软跟 Developer 事务最高阶的长官，好，所以他现在在叙述的就是微软很需要聆听 Developer 的心声，然后来打造更好的产品。
I was deeply moved, and I can tell you that's why I love my job. And standing in front of you today, I can tell you I'm so excited about this year's build. A program that creates a clear vision for where we are and where we're going, both as an industry and as a company. And we've worked to ensure that connection between the vision and the technical roadmap for getting it done is also well defined. This morning, our CEO, Satya Nadella, is going to share our vision for a world of computing powered by the intelligent cloud and the intelligent edge. We'll then dive first into the platform that powers that vision, Azure, with my boss, Scott Guthrie. Tomorrow, we'll learn about Microsoft 365 with Joe Belfiore. Over the next 3 days, the many sessions,
好，明天的 keynote 将会 focus 在 Microsoft 365， 好 ，M365 的部分。好，今天的大概就是在 Azure AI、IoT 相关的议题上面。
In fact, at this year's build, we have more customers and partners presenting than we ever have before. And they're here to share with you how they solved real development challenges. I'm so pumped about the next 3 days.
今年的 Build Keynote 会有更多的来自 Customer 还有 Partner 的，好，这个在现实生活中遇到的问题，还有他们的解决方案。
You know, Microsoft got its start building developer tools, and developers have always been at the heart of what we do. Recently, we've made an investment where we've built a team of global developer advocates that represent the broadest spectrum of communities, from JavaScript and Kubernetes to Python and Ruby to Node, along with .NET and our Windows communities. Our developer advocates go where you are, listening, advocating for you every day.
好，这一年来，微软招募了很多来自各个社群的Developer Advocates， 希望可以跟更广泛的社群来进行合作。
User groups, meetups, and developer events that happen in your own backyard. Here at Build, you'll find our developer advocates located in the community lounge, and I would encourage all of you to go by, say hello, tell us what you're thinking, get some help on a project, and hopefully make some new friends. And while our developer advocates specialize in this work, you'll see today that all of us here at Microsoft are here to understand what's important to you, to start a dialogue, to empower you to do more. Build is special because it brings so many of us together in one place. From enterprises to fledgling startups, from Fortune 500 architects to DevOps engineers, from experienced developers to students who are shaping the future of our industry. That mix of talent is on display here today with this amazing crowd here in Seattle and so many more participating online. In fact, we have developers from over 70 countries participating in this year's build, and our youngest build attendee is Disa, who is just 10 years old. And she's joined by her sister, Anna, who is just 12 years old. They're a great reminder of the importance of young people when we think about future developers. We recently launched Azure for Students, which enables students to get connected to the cloud and start learning right now.
好，现在显示的是这个针对学生所提供的免费云端资源 ，aka.ms/Azure for Students。
Additionally, we've launched Microsoft for Startups, where we're investing $500 million to turn young companies and help them evolve into healthy, thriving businesses. We do this through our co-sell program, where we connect both startups and our partners to our enterprise customers through our worldwide sales force and channel. This program continues to grow beyond expectations, delivering over $2.3 billion in partner revenue to date. And we're also making significant investments in our marketplaces so that we can make it easier for our customers and partners to do business together. So if you're building Azure solutions, please check out our cloud marketplaces. Finally, we are making significant investments in our online presence, making it easier to navigate our websites and documentation while offering increasingly coherent and relevant
好，现在你要搜寻跟微软开发相关的技术资源，好，我们逐步将每一个平台的开发文件都已经放在 docs.microsoft.com。好，所以所有你遇到微软的相关的开发工具平台，需要了解怎么样看到更多更细部的内容，请你记住这个网址 docs.microsoft.com。
Thank you all for coming and have a fantastic build.
好，前面 Charlotte 这一段呢，就是主要跟大家介绍，好，微软怎么样来做这个跟 developer 接触的相关的工作，还有我们提供的一些 offering。好，当然在后续的一些产品的介绍之中，好，这些 offering 这些 program 也会陆续再跟大家做介绍。好，我们现在看看这张图，好，去年就是拿来说明这个 Intelligent Edge 还有 Intelligent Cloud。
Please welcome Satya Nadella.
OK， 所以 CEO 还是在蛮前面就上台了，对对对。如果你现在才打开的话，那我的预测就对了。
Good morning and welcome to Build 2018. Welcome to Seattle. It's fantastic to see you all back here. You know, this morning I got up and I was reading the news and I hear Bill Gates is talking about stock. And he's talking about the Apple stock. And I said, wow, in the 30 years that at least I've known Bill, I've never seen him talk about stock. But today must be a new day for sure when you hear Bill talk about Apple stock. So that's the new Microsoft for you. You know, last year, we talked about opportunity and responsibility. And both those topics have been so far amplified. It's unimaginable. In fact, for the first time here last year is when I started talking about the intelligent edge. And 12 months after, it's everywhere. In fact, at this conference, it's going to be something that we will unpack in great detail. The platform advances are pretty amazing. But most importantly, it's the developers who are pushing these platform advances. So to see the intelligent edge go from some sort of a conceptual frame to this real thing that's shaping the cloud is stunning. Last year, we also talked about this notion of responsibility and that none of us wanted to see a future that Huxley imagined or Orwell imagined. And that's now become a mainstream topic of discussion. And so I was thinking about the historical parallels where there was this much change, this kind of opportunity, this kind of tumultuous discussion. And I was reminded of a book that I read maybe 3 years ago by Robert Gordon, The Rise and Fall of American Productivity, or American Growth. And in there, he, in fact, talks about the Industrial Revolution and even contrasts it with the digital revolution. He gives PC credit for the last time digital technology showed up in our productivity stats, which is nice. But in general, he sort of talks about what an amazing revolution the Industrial Revolution was in terms of its broad sectoral impact and productivity and growth. This is a picture of New York City, probably 1905, I'm told. Flatiron building, and what you see is horse carriages. And if you go to the next picture, this is 20 years after. And you see all the artifacts of the Industrial Revolution and its diffusion. You see the automobiles. These buildings now are beginning to have sewage systems, drainage, air conditioning is coming, radios,
这两张照片是1905年到1925年左右的纽约的街景。你可以看到很多的马车已经都换成了像是缆车啦，或是一些自动车等等。
The core technologies of the Industrial Revolution, whether it's the internal combustion engine or electricity, are nowhere to be seen. They're invisible. And I'm reminded of this Mark Weiser quote. The most profound technologies are those that disappear. They weave themselves into the fabric of everyday life until they are indistinguishable from it. This was from his very influential paper, early 90s, when he was at Xerox PARC. And that's what's happening. That's the opportunity that we see. The world is becoming a computer. Computing is getting embedded in every person, place, and thing. Every walk of life, in our homes, in our cars, at our work, in our stadiums, in our entertainment centers. Every industry, from precision agriculture to precision medicine, from autonomous cars to autonomous drones, from personalized retail to personalized banking, are all being transformed. In fact, if you think about the sheer computing power that is getting distributed and how that computing power is being used to collect data, fuse sensor data, reason over that data, create the rich experiences throughout our life, it's pretty stunning. That's the opportunity that we have. It's in some sense endless. But we also have responsibility. We have the responsibility to ensure that these technologies are empowering everyone. These technologies are creating equitable growth by ensuring that every industry is able to grow and create employment. But we also have a responsibility as a tech industry to build trust in technology. In fact, Hans Jonas was a philosopher who worked in the 50s, 60s, and he wrote a paper on technology and responsibility. He was not referencing as much the digital tech, and a lot of his work got picked up later in bioethics, in other fields. But he talks about act so that the effects of your action are compatible with permanence of genuine life. That's something that we need to reflect on, because he was talking about the power of technology being such that it far outstrips our ability to completely control it, especially its impact even on future generations. And so we need to develop a set of principles that guide the choices we make, because the choices we make is what's going to define the future. We're focused on three core pillars. First, privacy. Privacy is a human right. We at
好，现在
Microsoft
提到的是在新科技带领新的环境，在数位革命的时候，我们的这个责任应该要，我们的责任感应该要仰赖3件事情。第一件事情就是 privacy。
ensure that the user is always in control of their data and its use. GDPR is a
所以不管我们
sound
提供什么样的
good
服务，
regulation.
对于这个资料的隐私，还有它的合法性、合规性，我们都会非常的重视。例如最近这个正在施行的这个即将要施行的这个 GDPR 法案，好，那微软的云端服务当然也是很重视用户隐私和资料的这一段。
It's just like security. We're never going to be done. We are going to continuously commit ourselves to work to preserve privacy. Same thing with the Cloud Act. No company
还有另外一件事是 cyber security， 因为我们更多的这个联网，更多的这个网络的运算等等，安全性、攻击的侦测、预防也变得越来越重要。
are balanced with privacy. We've had 4 cases against the US government that we've litigated since 2013. One of them went all the way to the Supreme Court. While we were litigating, we were also working with both sides of the aisle on the legislative process. And so we think the Cloud Act is a good start. It creates a framework. We hope that the rest of the world and the United States can create, in fact, an intergovernmental framework around this. And meanwhile, we will continue to do what we have done, which is to ensure that customers are in control and privacy is preserved. Cybersecurity. We need to act with collective responsibility across the tech sector to help keep the world safe. We recently formed a program to protect our democracy, where we are going to work with the campaigns, the civic society, other constituents, so that we can secure our political process, our democratic process. We also led a consortium of 34 tech companies with the Tech Accord to ensure that citizens across the world are protected from cyber attacks. It's the digital Geneva Convention of our times. Ethical AI. We need to ask ourselves not only what computers can do,
另外一个责任重大的是这个中文不知道怎么翻，使用 AI 的道德嘛？现场来宾有没有更好的翻译 ethical AI？ 就是当我们在发展这个人工智慧相关的技术的时候，我们必须很小心，而且是遵守这个人类的这些道德，还有ethical。快，有没有英文小老师帮我翻译一下？简单讲，就是要小心关注这个 AI 的发展。 不要让它变成危害人类社会的一个技术。
We need to make this a first-class engineering discipline where the choices that we make.
他注解写很好，我们不是只是问说电脑可以做什么，而是应该仔细去思考电脑应该要做什么。
We've always had these data sheets where the input-output was specified, and we could reliably use software systems. We need the same for data. We need data sheets for data so that we can know where the data came from. What are its intended uses? Debiasing word embeddings. So there's some amazing advances in AI around language, except we train on the corpus of language that's out there. And unfortunately, the corpus of language that's out there has our biases. So we need the tools that can debias these word embeddings that we learn because of the state of the art of AI. We also need privacy-preserving AI or private AI. In many cases, you need to be able to take data, have it cross even organizational boundaries. And to be able to do that by using techniques like homomorphic encryption so that you can learn, train on encrypted data. We're already working on some of these technologies. We have libraries that work with things like Azure ML, and we're working with the healthcare and pharma industries. So these are investments we're making today to ensure that we can all collectively make ethical AI choices. This is what grounds us. This opportunity and responsibility is what grounds us in our mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. We're focused on building technology so that
好，这个是微软的最重要的任务。我们为什么打造各项的技术？好，是希望 empower every person,
the products we build, our
every
business
organization
model,
to achieve
so that
more.
your success is what leads to our success. There's got to be complete alignment. So this conference and the rest of my talk is about creating that opportunity for all the developers in the room. We're focused on two massive platform opportunities. One, Microsoft Azure, the other, Microsoft 365. And both these platform opportunities are being shaped by one major shift in the technology paradigm, the shift to the intelligent cloud
关注
and the intelligent edge.
这两个平台
And there are three foundational
Azure and Microsoft
technologies
365
that are impacting this
希望
shift. The first one
developer 关注这两
is
个平台的
ubiquitous
opportunity。
computing. The world's
好，
application
我们看到
going
现在这
forward
画面上面是新版的 Intelligent Cloud 跟 Intelligent
a
Edge。
ubiquitous
我们可以看到左
computing
边的
fabric
这个
from the cloud
玻璃
to
item
the
跟
edge.
去年的版本有
They
些许的不
need
同。
a new app model that is distributed, event-driven, and serverless. That's what we're building with Azure. Azure is being built as the world's computer. It already has 50+ regions.
目前 Azure 在全球已经有超过50座的 data
More
center，
regions and more
所以我们可以看
certifications
到
than any other
Azure
public cloud.
微软在 Azure 这
And
边的
that's
投
so that we
资
can meet
是持续
the
的成
real
长。
world needs of customers, their digital sovereignty needs, their regulatory needs. But we're not stopping there. In fact, as computing spreads, as there is need for computing at the edge, we are building out Azure.
我们
Azure
希望
Stack,
Azure 成为
Azure Iot Edge,
世界
and
级的电
Azure
脑。
Sphere
那除了云
as
端
this
之外
one，
还有
computing fabric
在
that
这个
supports
地端的
this new
Azure Stack
application model.
IoT 的 IoT Edge， 还有 Azure Sphere。
And so let's
前几个
delve
礼拜
right
刚
into it.
推
Let's
出的
take
这个
one at a time.
跟
Azure.
微处理器相关的这个
You know,
物联
we've
网平
had
台，还有作业
something
系
like
统。
130 new capabilities that we have shipped in just the last year in Azure. The pace of innovation is pretty stunning. In fact, there is 70 of them that are going to be launched just at the Build conference.
所以我们看待
Azure
Azure，
Stack
它是一个世界规模
And,
的
and
电
of
脑
course, we
运
have
算
all the
平台，
customers, the brands
可
you
能在
saw
云
in the
端，
previous
可
slide.
能在
It's
地端。
amazing to see year over year growth of Azure in terms of how deeply some of these brands rely on Azure. And Azure Stack, which is just a year old, is supporting multiple scenarios. For example, Chevron is using it so that they can essentially have Azure in a disconnected way at their oil rigs. A bank in South Africa, ABSA, is using it for their regulatory workloads, as well as using the public cloud Azure. And then Schlumberger is actually doing distributed computing. So they use the public
这边
cloud
在介绍
as well as
Azure
Azure
Stack
Stack
在许多不能联
as
网的
one
情境之
fabric
下，我
to
们
be
也提
able
供
to
了 Azure 的
distribute compute so that
capability，
it's close
并
to
且
where the
合
data
乎
is.
这一些应用情境的规范。
So this are all new scenarios which are pretty unique to Azure and what it can do. Azure IoT Edge. Again, phenomenal to see the progress. It runs both on Linux and Windows as first class, and we're pushing on Windows to make the management security with both Windows IoT and Windows 10 so that this runtime is well integrated.
透过 Azure Iot Edge runtime， 不管你是用 Linux 还是 Windows 10 IoT 来打造物联网的这个解决方案，它都让你有一个在 Edge 端、在本地端执行这些 Azure 进阶应用的平台。
And today I'm really pleased to announce that we're going to open source the Azure IoT Edge.
好
So that
，Satya 刚才
developers
宣
can
布了
extend
我
it
们
and contribute to it
正式
and
的
take it
Open
to all
Source
the places
Azure
that
IoT
it's
Edge 的
needed in.
runtime， 所以任何 developer 都可以把这样的 runtime 拿来研究，或者是客制化，或者是修改，成为适合自己使用的版本。我们希望壮大 Edge Computing 的developer ecosystem。
For the Azure IoT Edge. And today, I'm really thrilled to announce a new partnership with Qualcomm, who's going to bring a new
这
Qualcomm
边宣布微
accelerated
软跟
camera
Qualcomm
for
partnership
scenarios from home
提供了一
security
个新的
to
SDK，
industrial safety, and releasing a computer vision toolkit with it.
针对这些具有
So you can in fact
camera
run
装置的这种
a
IoT device
container
所提供的这个
that's been
AI
trained in the
Developer
cloud
Kit，
and deployed right on the camera
这
for
是由
computer
微软
vision.
和高通共同联手打造
And
的
this is going to be available
硬
by end of the
体还有
year for
软体
developers to
的
deploy.
相关 ecosystem。
I'm also thrilled to announce a partnership with DJI.
还有很多
in
无人飞机
civilian
玩家
drones and
喜爱的这个 DJI 的这家公司，也跟微软合作
DJI is doing two things.
将
One is
Azure
they're
IoT Edge
launching
还有 AI 的能力
an SDK on Windows
还有
10,
SDK
so
整合在
developers
这个
building
无人飞机。
commercial apps for a variety of different vertical
哦
industries
，Herman 要
now
不要
will have
补
full
充说明一下？
access to the drone, both the data
我想
as well as
如果
the
说有
flight
在
plan,
玩
so you can
在台湾有
imagine
玩无人机的话，应该
what
都
you
会
can
知
do
道
in
大疆。
agriculture,
那我想
industrial
这次里面跟他们做合
safety.
作
Many of，these
让大疆的这个
applications
无人机
can get
的
written on Windows as the
SDK 可以跟
control
Windows 的这些 device
plane
做一些
for the
串接
autonomous drone.
这是一个还
And
我觉得
we're also
蛮好
integrating
玩的一个宣布。
Azure IoT Edge right into the drone itself. So again, you can deploy, compute AI models that have been trained in the cloud.
简单的讲，
to the
透
edge
过
right on the
IoT
drone.
Edge 的这样子的支援
And to，
你可以很快的把一些 AI 的 module，
This
就
was
像你
announced
deploy
at
到
RSA
IoT
just
Edge 的
last
平台
month.
一样，把它 deploy 到这些
It brings together
具有 camera 的 device 或者
secure
是无人机
silicon
上面。
design, a secure operating
接下来
system,
介绍的这个
as
是
well as
前
a
几周宣
security
布
and a
的
management
Azure
service
Sphere，
all together,
它包含了
so that 9
微控制器
billion+
OS，
microcontrollers
还有
that ship
相关的这
each
个
year.
Cloud
I mean, talk about a
Services。
business opportunity for all developers. 9 billion new compute nodes. And you can think of that as just part of
我们
Azure.
希望借由提供
Same
Azure
programming
Sphere
model,
这样子的生态系
same tool chain.
让相关的设备制造商IoT 平台的开发商可以很轻松的开发出更安全、更多这个应用服务支援的物联网开发平台。
And then I want to have Sam George from our Azure IoT team come up and show you some of this stuff in action. Sam?
我们看到这个 MTK 台湾联发科的那个晶片在画面上面 ，MediaTek。
And
所以前面这一段呢，主要是强调我们在 Azure 上面的发展，这些新的应用 AI 的 module 不只是在云端上面，在地端 Azure Stack， 甚至在装置端，在 Edge 端，我们也有 IoT Edge， 还有 Azure Sphere 这样子的产品，希望在所有 everywhere 都有 Azure 的 computation power。
Thanks, Satya. Good morning, everyone. The Internet of Things is transforming how companies do business. With devices collecting real-time information about products and assets, it's never been easier
现在
to
跟大家
benefit
介
from
绍的这个
IoT.
是
Those
Azure
benefits
IoT
include
的 Director
eliminating
Sam George。
downtime, reducing environmental
去年的
impact,
build 就是由他
and delivering
demo
breakthrough
IoT
product
Edge 的
innovations.
capability。
Today, Rockwell Automation is delivering industrial automation solutions across infrastructure, manufacturing, power generation, and so much more. They've been using Azure IoT already to connect to the equipment that powers these industries and using Azure services to predict the maintenance needs and eliminate downtime for them.
他现在这边介绍的是 Rockwell Automation。那我想这一家是一家非常大型的这种，就是包含油管啊各项这种就是物联网装置的一个美国的厂商。那我想在这边跟他们做很多合作，在于说 IoT Edge 或 IoT Intelligent Edge 这一块的这种应用。
More and more data, such as video data, it's more practical to deliver compute and AI right down to the devices themselves. Now, this is where Azure Iot Edge comes in. Azure Iot Edge enables Azure services as well as your own code to escape the cloud and be deployed directly down onto devices and managed remotely, all on devices smaller than a Raspberry Pi or as large and capable as the solution calls for. To see this in action, let's take a look at a Rockwell Automation operational dashboard. Now, in this dashboard, I have two alerts. One is inside the building, and the other is up on the roof.
好，现在是一个这个展示这个 solution 的一个 dashboard， 这是这个油槽跟油管。这是一个 remote monitoring 的 dashboard。 这是刚才提到的 Microsoft 跟 Qualcomm 合作开发的这个具有高解析度还有深度资讯的这个 camera 装置。
to build an AI model and packaged it up in a Docker container and then deployed it to this camera. Because we're using this technique, we can deploy it to millions of
然后使用
minutes.
Azure Machine Learning 开发出来的 AI model， 透过 IoT Edge 的 container 的包装 ，deploy 到这个 camera device 上面。
Running locally on this camera, it means Rockwell doesn't have to send all of that video to the cloud. Instead, they can simply send alerts. It also means they don't have to manually inspect all those pipes. Now, our AI model detected a stress fracture, and if left untreated, it can be very dangerous. So I'm going to create a ticket in Dynamics 365.
camera 装置上面会透过这个 AI 的 model 来判断是不是有油管有故障或是有问题。 这些 AI 判断的能力都是在这个 camera device 上面，在 Edge 端发生的。我们可以利用 Cloud 来 train AI 的 model， 但是我们透过 IoT Edge 的能力，可以把这样子的 AI 的 model deploy 到 Edge 端，让它更快反应。因为像这种油槽或者是很多这种 mission critical 的系统上面，我们需要更快的争取时间来让这个不管是发出 alert 或者是发出一些这个安全的防护措施，是需要立即采取行动。
Microsoft is partnering with DJI to bring Azure
在
IoT
一
Edge
些
right to their
PCB 的
drones.
制造商这边
And this
开
is
始有些
significant
就
because
是在
it
讨
means
论这
any
个
Azure developer
IoT
using
以及
Azure
AI 的
machine
应用，
learning
比如
can
说那个
develop
钻
AI
孔机，
models and deploy
这个
them
在
to their
钻
drones.
我们 PCB 板的时候，是不是
It also means I can
钻
take
头
that
即将
same
耗损的
AI
情
model
况，
that
是不
went
是
to
可
the
以用
Qualcomm
AI 来
camera
做预测
and？ deliver it
是
to the
对
DJI drone. Now, this incredible drone is a DJI M210 RTK, and it's capable of running Azure IoT Edge right on board. This smaller drone is a DJI Mavic Air, and it's perfect
好，
for
现在
running
这
the
些都是已
principles of
经
flight and for
adopt
developing and
IoT Edge
testing
平
your
台
AI
的
models.
无人机。 然后可以一样可以把 AI 的 model deploy 到这些无人机上
But I bet you'd
面。
like to see me fly one, and I would love to. But unfortunately, in a room like this, you need a commercial drone pilot license to do that, and they're incredibly hard to get. So for that, we're going to welcome Francisco from DJI out to the stage to fly for us. Come on out. Now, Francisco is going to be flying the DJI Mavic Air over the pipes that you see here, which represent
对，
the
现在要
ones
试飞这个无人
150
机，
feet up
然
on
后
the
现场
roof.
也模拟了这个油管
And the
的
Mavic Air is going to be streaming
情境。
video back to the laptop
对
here,
啊，这个 build 的会场
which is
打
running
造的有
Azure
点高
Iot
级，
Edge as well as our
油管
AI
都搬上
model,
来。
all packaged up in a great UWP app. And when it sees the anomaly, it'll draw that same yellow bounding box that you saw with the Qualcomm camera. All right, let's check it out.
.像这个油管有没有异常？对，就是看
Now, as you can see,
哦，他
we're
就发现
detecting
了
that anomaly in real time.
这个油管有
For the first
对啊
time
异
ever,
常
we're
的
able to
状况。
stream video back from that drone to this laptop running IoT Edge and our AI model, which was developed in the cloud.
对啊，因为他已经把这个侦测油管有异常状况的这个 AI model， 然后透过 IoT Edge deploy 到这个无人机上
As I
面，
mentioned, the
所以它可以
N200
直接
will be running that
就是在这
right
个
on
无人机
board.
上面拍摄的同时就能判断这个是不是有异常状况，而且异常的部分
Great,
在什么
thank
位
you,
置。
Francisco. Now, that anomaly was pretty easy to see, but in the real world, there's hundreds of pipes over thousands of miles. So solutions like this will save
我们应该
Rockwell
跟公司申
significant
请
time
买一
and
台无人
expense.
飞机来。
Now, if you're eager to try
来
this
做
out,
展示。
DJI is offering an early release of the Windows SDK exclusively to Build attendees. Stop by their booth, check it out, and try it for yourself. Now, you've just seen two instances of the intelligent edge in
这个
action.
DJI 的无人飞机在今天也同时提供这个 Windows 的 SDK， 让具有这个飞行器的 developer 也可以透过这个 SDK 来进行开发。
To millions of devices, immediately making the intelligent edge even more intelligent. Thank you.
好，前面这段展示就是让大家了解，我们把 AI 的这个能力赋予在 IoT Edge 的 device 上面。
Moving to the next key technology, which is AI. In fact, you saw some of that in action in the drone. So let's
好，
just
在这个
unpack that
Intelligent
more.
Edge、Intelligent Cloud 的这个
You know, when it comes to AI breakthroughs, Microsoft has
情
had
境之
many.
下 ，AI 是一个非常
If
重
you
要的
look
灵
at
魂。
just 2016, that was when the first time we had the 152-layer ResNet that achieved human parity in object recognition. We then went on to achieve human parity on speech recognition using the switchboard dataset. We now have the joint leadership.
我想在就是去年1年的时间内，其实微软在 AI 的技术上达到很多的一个大突破，包含就是说在整个语音辨识的技术上面降到非常低的一个就是说错误率。
If you look, you can see the pace with which these breakthroughs are coming.
然后我们也在这种，比如说文件阅读的理解能力，在这个就是说SQUAD 的这个测试上面来讲的话，拿到世界第1名的这个冠军。那同时间就是说，我们另外在于说这个语言翻译上面来讲的话，我们从中文的部分翻译到英文的部分，也达到就是说跟人类相等同的一个水准。所以这边都是就是说在去年1年之间，微软在几个重大 AI 技术上面的一个突破。
To us, that's what's important. We truly are committed to, in some sense, commoditizing AI. We have to go from sort of talking about AI being in the hands of a few companies to be
如同 Microsoft 的 mission 一样，我们在看 AI 这件事情，我们也希望把它带到所有的 developer、所有的组织、所有的情境之下，都可以 empower 原本的应用情境，让它做得更好，然后让各个 developer 可以从各个角度来切入 AI 应用程式的开发。
We need to have the most productive tool chain to be able to create AI and customize AI. And then you need openness when it comes to frameworks and infrastructure. They can't be locked in. And that's what we're working on. In fact, Azure Cognitive Services, in the last 3 years have gone from, again, early releases to full-fledged services. We have the most number of cognitive services, 35 plus services that are available to developers today, spanning speech, vision, language, machine translation. But the key is that you can customize these. In other words, you can bring your data, your label data,
在 Azure 上面提供的这些 AI 服务，除了有我们预先建好的这些辨识啊，或是认知的 model 之外，更重要的是对 developer 来讲，如果可以把自己的资料带到这个平台上面来训练一个属于自己的 AI model， 这也是一件很重要的事情。所以，在过去我们也试出了像 Custom Vision、Custom Speech， 或者是像 Language Understanding、Louis 这样子的平台。 让 developer 可以很轻易的不用学太多 AI 的这个知识，只要有相关的资料，都可以很快速的训练属于自己的 AI model。
RIT, it's a fantastic case study of using machine translation and speech recognition to make classrooms inclusive. They customize it by teaching these systems the specific subjects. I mean, think about what it can do for an inclusive classroom. But these cognitive services are also ushering in many AI-enabled devices. In fact, Huawei has built a broad range of devices. Their Mate 10 includes our machine translation and does even offline translation using their NPU on board. Xiaomi worked with another travel company, Samjoy, and brought
所以刚刚有提到，就是华为的光荣 10这一支他们的顶尖智慧型手机，它是有搭载微软这边研究院搭的一个语音翻译技术，可以做 offline 的一个翻译。
To be able to communicate with anyone else without the language barrier. It's pretty amazing to see this device in action without the awkwardness of a phone that you're trying to thrust in front of someone. So in order to really democratize the creation of more of these types of AI-powered, AI-enabled devices, I'm really thrilled to announce a speech device SDK, as well as reference kits that Rubo, which is one of our OEM partners and ODM partners out of China, has built. This is a microarray speaker.
所以在这边就是它3两档子，就我们现在会提供 device SDK， 那这次会是个 offline 的版本，给这些就是说装置厂商可以把这种像包含语言翻译啊，或者是语音辨识部分内建到他们的装置里头去。
For even low volume scenarios in the enterprise market, as well as consumer applications.
所以有了这个 speech device SDK， 只要你是做这个喇叭或者声音相关或需要语音相关的 device 的厂商，你就可以把这些语音辨识啊，然后机器翻译的能力带到你的这些喇叭或者是语音装置上面。好，大家还记得 Connect 吗？
And then later on it came to the PC and it was used in many applications.
对啊 ，Herman 之前是不是开发了很多 Connect 的应用？你要不要来说句话
？Education.
对，我想可能这个装置当时引起很大的热潮了，那也是微软在于说它上面用大量的这种就是说deep learning 的部分去做人的手势的辨识。对。
And so we've been inspired by what developers have done.
Enable AI 的那个 edge device 确实蛮重要的，像我们之前在协助客人做这个 voice command。
To some of the foundational technologies.
always 要连在线上的话，那的确是蛮大的困扰。
In HoloLens, and so we're taking those advances and packaging them up as Project Connect for Azure. And this Project Connect for Azure is going to have some of the best spatial understanding, skeletal tracking, object recognition, and package some of the most powerful sensors together with the least amount of depth, noise, and also have ultra-wide field of view.
我想 AI 技术上面来讲，现在各家厂商都慢慢把 AI 的这个功能做在晶片上。那 Project Connect 这一块部分的话，就是说它把我们提供这样的模组，那它内建像是一些影像辨识啊、物件辨识在里头，然后就是说它可以串联到 Azure 上面去做使用。
Both on the consumer side as well as the industrial side. The next big area of AI is conversational AI. It was 2 years ago when we talked about bots as the new applications. Every company will build branded agents. This is pretty critical because if these are the new apps, you need to be able to brand them, especially the consumer-facing ones. It's not sufficient to just build skills for others' agents, but you need to be able to have your own agent that can directly talk to customers. And every agent should be able to converse across multiple personal digital assistants. Right? And we now see a tremendous amount of momentum with all of these technologies. In just 2 years, we have seen many customers build both customer-facing, employee-facing bots for a variety of different use cases. Let's just roll a video to show you what customers are doing with bots.
我想大概在2年前开始谈论，就是说 Chatbot 这件事情。那我想当时是蛮率先领先去我们在讨论，就是说这种 conversation。那经过2年之后，其实我们已经看到很多客户在就透过像梅西百货啊，像各项的这种 Stack Overflow， 那他们运用这种 bot 的技术来服务他们的客户，就是说跟他们客户做沟通。那中间一个核心就是那个微软的 bot framework。
And at this conference, we're launching 100+ new features for the bot framework so that you can continue to build these conversational interfaces and give them more of the customization. So for example, you can have a custom wake word, you can give it custom speech, you can even give it custom personality, take some of the FAQs and turn them into Q&As, and then take the corpus of data you have in terms of conversations and use that as labeled data to have a full dialogue system. So amazing stuff for you to be able to build much more sophisticated conversational applications.
那我们刚刚可以在看到影片中，它其实有一些 卡片上的新的呈现，我觉得这也是一个很好的地方。
And then have them show up in all channels and personal digital assistants. So having done all the hard work of having built one conversational interface,
他刚刚其实有很简短的提到，其实有提供了 Q&A Maker。
So that means you should be able to publish it in Cortana, you should be able to publish it in Skype, in Facebook, and we have now 16 plus channels. By just simply registering the channel, tagging the intents, you can have your conversational interface show up everywhere. So this is, I think,
那他这边讲的其实是说，让你的缺乏可以快速的跟 Cortana 做整合。
The separation of how you build the conversational dialogue system and the tool chain you need, the sophistication of that tool chain, so that you can build a branded
当然，我们的目标
asset
一定是要朝向全球嘛。台
where
湾
all it
就
shows up. They don't need to be coupled. And that's what we're enabling. When it comes to tools and frameworks, it starts with having the best data estate. And Azure, you'll hear from Scott later about our data estate. Last year, we started talking about Cosmos DB. It's one of the fastest growing databases today. To what we have done with SQL and our data warehouse and
这
our
里要
data
介绍
lake.
是在
Because you now
Azure
have
AI
the
上面的
ability
平台
to
或是
bring
工具
all your data，
为
in
什么
its
我们
native
会是
form.
最好的这个
And then
做
have
AI
a
开发的
best
平台
tool chain
还有工具。
for you to be
首
able
先，
to
这个
prep
我们
that
提供
data,
很多样化的这个
to
资料平
iterate
台，
on it, to build your
有关联式
models,
资料库的，也
and
有
then to
NoSQL
deploy them
像
where you need
Cosmos
it, either
DB 等
using
等
our
的
batch，
还有
services
更
or
多
our
适合
Kubernetes service.
Big Data 的平
So
台
that
，Data
tool
Lake
chain
Spark
is what's
Databricks
going to be very,
等
very
等。
critical to be something that gives you that productivity edge. But there's one other thing, which is we want to make sure there's openness in every layer. Just because you like one of the frameworks, in fact, you should be able to choose any framework. You should be able to
而且
choose
当我们打造这些工具的时候，也会也要考量到 developer 喜欢的工具，然后要尽可能的开放，尽可能的满足每一个 developer 的需求。他可以用他自己选择的 framework、选择的语言来开发 AI 的应用，在微软的平台上面。
We worked with Facebook to create this open neural network exchange, Onyx, which is supported
然后刚刚
broadly
他有提
now
到一个
by
还
all
蛮
of the
重要的，
frameworks
就
I
是
mentioned,
ONNX。
as well as
ONNX
the
它是
hardware
一个就是
acceleration from
开放让各个
Intel,
framework
from
develop， 比如说
Qualcomm,
像
NVIDIA.
CNTK 或者是像是
It
PyTorch
supported the
等等的
two
开发
inference
者
engines,
都可以
Core
透
ML
过
on iOS,
ONNX
as
的
well as
方式
Windows ML，
然后
supported.
来做就是框
So
架
that means you have this
的那个转
intermediate
换。所以今天不管你是开放，就是是用 CNTK 开发，或是用 PyTorch 或是用 MXNet 开发，都可以透过这个方式，然后跟其他的程式沟通。
to one particular neural processing unit. And so we want to open that up. And talking about AI infrastructure, I'm really thrilled to announce the preview of Project Brainwave. Project Brainwave is a distributed real-time AI fabric that today is working with FPGAs from Intel to
Project
bring
Brainwave 大概
the
是大概
best in
在几年
class
前，微软跟
real-time AI,
Intel
low
针对说
latency AI
FPGA 这
capabilities
种
and
就是说
inferencing
闸道式的这种
capabilities.
逻辑电路，然后
It
来去
has
做的客制化的一个
5x
晶片。
lower hardware
那我们在这
latency
一次也
than
刚开始
TPU for
会开
real-time
始做
AI.
preview。
And this is going to
那
be
这种
available
FPGA 它的一个
in
特性就是说，相对于
preview for
GPU 它来
developers.
讲的话，它的运算
And
效
we're
能会
also
高
going to
高
extend
很
it all the
多，
way to
然
the
后同
edge.
时
We're
它的耗
working
电
with
量
our
也会就
system
是说
partners
比
to
GPU
take
的耗电
FPGA
量还
and make
低
it
蛮多的。
available wherever Azure is available. And we have many customers
那
who
微软
have
现在
these
目前
high
是拥有世界上
precision
最
and
大的
high
一个
throughput
FPGA
needs
deployment 的一
who
个
are working
云
with
端
us.
服务商。
And one such customer is Jabil. And so let's roll the video to show you how they're using FPGA for real-time AI already.
People tend to think of Jabil as a contract manufacturer. We are more than that. We're a manufacturing solutions provider. We've been talking with Microsoft about Project Brainwave. The benefit of the FPGA is the ability to deploy our machine learning models at the edge at a lower cost than GPUs, but at a higher performance capability than CPUs.
The early test result from Microsoft has shown FPGA is capable of predicting 550 images a second, comparing with a CPU cluster with 40 images a second.
The potential for Project Brainwave is substantial in allowing us to move forward at scale for machine learning across Jabil. Very exciting.
And so that brings me to the final major technology that's shaping this shift, which is multi-sense, multi-device experiences. And Microsoft 365 is the coming together of Windows and Office to build this multi-device, multi-sense experience, service, and platform. And it puts people at the center versus devices at the center. And I think it's easy for us to think about this by looking at what happens and how you interact with Microsoft 365. You may pick up a phone and use Outlook Mobile in the morning. You're in the car, you're joining a Skype meeting because Skype is embedded in the car dashboard. You come to work, you work on a PC, on Word, and you're collaborating with someone from across the country. You're in a meeting where you have a large screen device like the Surface Hub. During a single day, you're using multiple devices. You're at multiple locations, working with multiple people, and interacting using multiple senses. That's the world we already live in. We need an operating system. We need a platform that abstracts the hardware at that level, that creates an app model at that level. Single devices remain important, will remain important, but this meta orchestration is what we need to do. We need to up-level even our concept of what an operating system is, and that's what Microsoft 365 does. And in fact, you can start as a developer, right, at least in the case of Windows, where a lot of our applications are, which is on the desktop, on your laptop. With Fluent, you can modernize for the mouse and keyboard a Win32 app, a WPF app, a Universal app. Every one of these applications can be modernized using Fluent. Of course, applications are not just rectangular windows anymore. You can add senses. So you can add ink, you can add speech, both far field and near field. This holiday season,
我们看到它的副标有一个重点，讲到 Microsoft 365不管是我们的 Productivity 或者是像 Windows 的这样的平台，你开发应用程式的时候，好，这个新的
You can have mixed reality, you can have gaze, so you can add application richness with multiple senses.
就是你的应用情境，你的 device 可能环绕了更多的比方说像是笔啊 ，Windows Ink 啊，或者是其他的语音啊、图片等等的这些。
Allows you to go from the phone
multi-sense,
to the PC
multi-device
and back,
the experience,
and complete your tasks as one continuous stream. In fact, I think of Timeline allowing me to treat the phone as a second screen to the PC. And we're also introducing new capabilities for the phone. This is your ability to, in fact, take the phone and treat the PC as a second screen. So these are multi-device extensions of the shell. Office is built by definition as a multi-device service. So you can be on a Mac with Teams.
萨提亚正在解释 Microsoft 365里面的 Windows 的 platform 或是 Office 的 platform， 在开发应用程式和服务的时候，考量到的都是这些 multi-sense、multi-device 的使用情境。
Card that integrates basically allows you to take your service and the action on the service is showing up as an adaptive card in Outlook, either on a phone or on a PC. You can also have Excel call a cloud function. So you can go to Azure and use Azure functions to write a machine learning or an AI module that gets called by Excel using its cloud function functionality. These are all things that is extensions of M365. Perhaps one of the most quintessential multi-device, multi-sense surface areas is Cortana. Cortana is part of Windows Shell. It's built into Outlook. It's going to be built into Teams. It has these unique capabilities. It has the unique capabilities around scheduling meetings, transcribing meetings, keeping commitments. It saves me every day because it knows the mails I send where I commit to things, and it reminds me of those. And I already talked about how something like the bot framework can be used to build skills for Cortana as well as many other surface areas. But there's one other thing that we've been doing with Cortana, which is ensuring that Cortana can even converse with other personal digital assistants. We want to make it possible for our customers to be able to get the most out of their personal digital assistants, not be bound to some single walled garden, and for developers to have access to the maximum number of users. And so we've been working with our friends across the lake at Amazon to really bring Alexa and Cortana together to benefit every user and every developer out there. And to really show you this, I wanted to introduce up on stage Megan Saunders from Microsoft and Tom Taylor from Alexa.
结合。
我想 Alexa 主要是在家庭的应用啦。那 Cortana 现在我们还是着重在说在 PC 上面，那所以大概是工作场合上面的一个应用。
I talk to
那我
my
想这两
mom
可以
about
就
my
是说做一些
teenagers,
适当
which
的搭
is
配。
pretty often now. I talk to Joe B about my hair. And in the ambient world, we believe that assistants will work together each and every day to help us.
Thanks, Megan. It's really been great working with you and the rest of the team here at Microsoft with Alexa and Cortana. At Amazon, we believe voice will make customers' lives easier at home, at work, and everywhere in between. We share a vision that there'll be many successful intelligent agents working together to provide customers a more helpful experience. Now, we all know it's early days, but I'm very excited to show the progress, so let's do it.
Me too. Okay, you go to your office, and I'm going to go to my house.
Okay.
Now, at my house, we have an Echo in the kitchen. But it's Cortana that manages my schedule
这个
and
是
my
Cortana
email.
的负
And to
责
get
人，
my day
然
started,
后他在
coffee
Amazon
is very
Echo 上
important,
面
and
用
I like
Cortana
milk. But with ravenous teenagers, we are
对，
often
他的
out.
桌上是2台这个 Amazon Echo。
Alexa, add milk to my shopping list.
I've added milk to your shopping list.
Alexa, open Cortana.
Cortana here. How can I help?
How's my day?
I'll take a look. I see 2 events for today. First up, at 5:30
好，这里可以看到刚才他提到 Cortana， 好，虽然作为一个语音助理，但是他跟他的个人的，也许是 email 或者是他的这个
Send an
Microsoft
email to Tom Taylor
365服务做
saying,
结
I'll
合。
see you tonight.
这个就是刚才提到的 multi-device 的
I'll email
experience。
Tom Taylor. I'll see you tonight.
好，它是在 Echo 上面用 Cortana， 然后跟自己的 Microsoft 365的 Service 做互动。
I've sent it. How can I help?
I'm done.
Very cool.
Later.
I love being able to talk to both Cortana and Alexa on my PC. Let me show you how they help me through my day.
好，现在是 Amazon Alexa 的负责人，然后他打开了 Windows 10的电脑。
Hey Cortana, where is Harvest Vine?
然后他先用了 Windows 10的这个 Cortana 的服务。
At 2701 East Madison in Seattle.
Better get going. Hey Cortana, open Alexa.
好，他现在用 Cortana 来开启 Alexa 的 PC 版本。
How can I help?
Get me a ride to Harvest Vine.
There is an Uber X 2 minutes.
然后你可以看到，它是在 Cortana 的界面中跟 Amazon Alexa 对话。
Yes, please.
Okay, requesting your ride. This may take a few moments. Would you like to continue?
Yes.
哦，所以他现在叫 Uber。
Okay.
是要开溜了。
Driver, Sarah, is arriving. Look for a Toyota Camry. What's next?
Turn off the lights, please.
What else can I help you with?
What do you think about Cortana?
I like Cortana. We both have experience with light rings, although
特别
hers
训练
is
的
more of a halo. Is there anything else?
Thanks, that's it. Just a few of the things that Alexa and Cortana help me do throughout my day. Well, Megan, it's really been great to be here with you today. I can't wait to see
所以现在
what
大家
customers
知道为什么我最近的
Yes,
demo
we're
都一直拿
really
Alexa 来
excited about this first step in a
好，
longer
其实没有关
journey
联
as。intelligent friends, both in the real and the ambient worlds. Now, we're committed to meeting customers wherever they are on whatever device is most convenient for them. Now, this experience is still in a limited beta, but you can go to this website to be notified when we go live. Now, for all of you developers out there, building skills for Cortana and Alexa is going to enable access to more people across more devices, and we can't wait to see what you will build. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan and Tom. So that shows you how every
所以透过刚才这样展示，也可以看到，就是任何 device 上面都有机会将 Cortana build in 在这些 device 里头。所以刚才就是又在这个 Amazon Echo 的 device 上面做进了这个 Cortana 的 capability。
The underpinning of Microsoft 365 is this graph. It's this ability to have users' activity across devices, across their life and work, explicitly
企业在使
represented
用 Microsoft 365的时候，这个用户在这个平台上面的资料，如果你针对这个平台做应用程式的开发，都可以透过 Microsoft Graph 的这个通讯的格式，资料的交换格式来取得这些在 Microsoft 365上面所产生的资料。当然，这些资料都是在你的企业中被保护着。那只有当你的使用者授权你的应用程式可以 access 它的 data 的时候，才会去存取它的 data 来做运算。
representation of activity is a massive unlock to the richness of the applications that we build. And already many developers are taking advantage of it, from Adobe to GitHub to HubSpot to Sage to Trello to Zendesk. These are all graph developers. And so we expect this list to grow and this conference to help you get a better handle on the types of applications you can build that cross devices.
所以要为 Microsoft 365平台加值的 developer， 只要研究 Microsoft Graph 的资料的存取，就可以在这个平台上面来开发为 Microsoft 365加值的各种应用。包含像刚才的 demo， 它透过 Cortana， 然后看它的行事历啦，或者是说存取它的一些这个个人的资料等等，都可以透过 Microsoft Graph 来进行撰写。
Hospital, factory, homes, offices, as explicitly represented entities in this graph, so that you can build applications that are just not about the digital world, but span the digital
然后刚才
and the physical
秀的那张图表示，在 Microsoft Graph 上面，我们更扩展了更多公开的这些资料，包含像是医疗啦，或者是博物馆等等这些公开的资料，真实世界的这些公开资料。
The spatial data into the Microsoft Graph. And to show you both these advances in Microsoft 365 for first-line work and these new SaaS applications, and then have other colleagues join her to show all of Microsoft 365, please help me welcome Lorraine Bardeen. Hi, Lorraine.
Thank you, Satya. We're going to show how Microsoft 365, Azure, and the Microsoft Graph can bring the power of computing into the real world. So first, I'm going to talk about industry and about first-line workers. And then we're going to switch gears and talk about the future of meetings and knowledge workers. So first-line workers in any company, they're the first to the customer, and they're the first to the problem. We see a huge untapped potential to empower those 2 billion first-line workers around the world with technology, so they can further contribute to the growth and the innovation and the success of their companies. And this opens up a huge new business opportunity for you as well, to bring your existing skills to a new customer base. So let's start by talking about what we've learned. In the past couple of years since we started shipping HoloLens, my team has been paying really close attention. What are those workflows that cut across first-line industries? We've collaborated with hundreds of customers, and we've identified that those highest value workflows are remote assistance, space planning, training and development, and product-focused collaboration, and real-time access to IoT and spatial data. So let's take a look at the first 2 of those high-value workflows, remote assistance and space planning, through the eyes of our customer, ZF Manufacturing. Let's roll that video.
ZF Transmissions is a worldwide builder of high-end transmissions for luxury and industrial vehicles.
We want to be the technology leader for automotive support autonomous driving. If I want that, I can not only have the best product, I also have to have the best processes. And I have to have the best technology to support our processes.
The passion is about bringing technology that adds value, and not just value to the business process, but value to the people. Because without the people out there on the shop floor, we're nothing.
I'm Matthias Stütz. I try to solve problems that the machines have, that they have less downtime, that we have a higher technical availability. Because if the machines are not running, we're not producing parts, so we don't make money.
I'm Malik Baden. I'm a planning engineer here at TG. I receive layouts for new equipment to come into the plant and make adjustments and then place those pieces of equipment in the plant drawing. A lot of times I have to take screenshots at specific angles so that I can get exactly what they want to see, and I have to make adjustments and really have to fill in the blanks with an explanation. And I have a difficult time trying to produce that with the tools that I have.
99% of our equipment comes from Germany and Switzerland. Either they can help us over the phone or they have to fly in. So it could be a day, could be 5 days. speaking to someone who has the same machine in Germany and has 10 more years of experience with it, you can figure out problems way more faster.
现在大家可以看到，就是影片里面啊，就是其实这个应用，其实在台湾未来也会逐渐看得到，因为其实已经有厂商想要尝试透过像这种 mixed reality 的方式，把他们的就是操作手册，还有他们的维修程序，然后把它就是记录在比如说你的那个眼镜里面，这样子你新进来的人，你就可以很快的知道怎么样去修这个机器，或者是知道说怎么样很快的去就是把你的工作学会这样子。所以其实现在不只有就是像刚刚有 demo 就是国外的厂商，其实国内有一些厂商也已经蠢蠢欲动了，对，大家可以期待一下。
You can see how bringing those mixed reality capabilities into their workflows, it improved the quality and the speed and the outcomes for both Lee and Matthias. And this is technology that connects them to other people through their work. So my team's been hard at work, and today we are incredibly excited to announce 2 new mixed reality business applications, Microsoft Remote Assist and Microsoft Layout. And these are joining the Microsoft 365 family and available for public preview starting May 22nd. With Microsoft Remote Assist, first-line workers can bring an expert right where they need them, and they can share what they're seeing. This is really important because often they don't have the help they need on site. They can collaborate to solve problems faster using heads-up, hands-free, video calling, image sharing, and mixed reality annotations. And the IT administrators, they can count on secure access, secure communications through Microsoft Teams. And then those
它这个 Microsoft Remote Assist 是一个 SDK 吗？可以
This really expedites their troubleshooting.
是一个 App 可以让
a ton of travel costs.
远端的2个人可以互相透过不同的 device， 然后也都可以使用这个 App 来呈现这个大家共同要解决的问题。
And they can make better decisions faster. There are a lot of ways to design spaces right now, but it's so hard to visualize them in the real world at size, scale, and context, which means that decisions end up taking a lot longer than they should, and often costly rework is needed. But with Microsoft Layout, teams can make decisions that used to take weeks or months. They can often make them in just days. So you remember those workflows I was talking about?
其实他现在刚刚说的就是说，其实，在制造业，你要 relay out 这个厂房是蛮常发生的事情。那你有时候 relay out 你要花很久的时间来设计，那设计完之后往 run 上去，你就会发现突然动线不太适合。那透过 Microsoft 的 layout， 你就可以快速的解决这样的事情。
As developers, when you design for HoloLens, you're designing for this first-person point of view, which means that you have access to just rich, new data and inputs. And then when you design for IoT, right, you're coding against the real world. And that's more rich, new data. And we believe it's the combination of these 2 things that's going to increase the value of your applications tremendously. Because with Azure Iot Edge, with connections to the Microsoft Graph, and with capabilities like Bot Framework, these world-sensing devices, they contribute as members of the team, and they're integrated with existing workflows. Let's take a look at this in action at one of ThyssenKrupp Aerospace's factories. Let's roll that video.
At ThyssenKrupp Aerospace, we partner with the world's leading aerospace companies to simplify their supply chain management. We have a complex flow of materials in our factory to keep production running smoothly.
Our top priority is keeping people safe and making sure they have access to all the tools and information they need to make better decisions quickly.
Microsoft's mixed reality tools are helping us get there. As we take on new projects, we need to optimize our workflows. With Microsoft Layout, we're able to make design changes in our actual factory space with 3D holograms.
Once we have an optimized workflow, we use spatial analytics to help drive quality improvements. We're running 24/7 on most saws, so it's expensive to take one offline. Spatial analytics listens to our machines and helps to tell us the right time to replace a saw blade, balancing quality with the bottom line.
Integration with Teams and Cortana allows our workers to make quick, in-context decisions that speed up production.
With Microsoft's mixed reality tools, we're able to work faster, safer, and at a higher quality than ever before. We can't wait to scale this across our entire organization. There's so much possibility.
Some of you who were here last year will remember we showed this great demo of a workplace safety scenario in a factory. So it's only a year later, and ThyssenKrupp is using Azure Iot Edge, Microsoft Graph, Teams, and Cortana assembled into a workflow that's improving workplace safety and efficiency in their factory. These world-sensing devices, they can offload work so that the first-line workers can focus on their most important work, and they also provide their company with its own spatial data in a standardized format, so it can just be pulled right into existing workflows. So these three things that we talked about today, we're launching these mixed reality applications, and this is, in large part, it's contributing to a big audience expansion to those 2 billion first-line workers. It's a new set of customer needs and a new business opportunity for all of you. And we're also making available this spatial and IoT data, both to first-line workers and to their companies. Now, my team, we work to integrate cloud and edge and mixed reality technologies into products. What we're doing is we're breaking ground so that you all can invent and get to market even faster. And we just love being on this journey with all of you. So let's switch gears now, and let's take a look at the future of modern meetings. And for that, I'd like to invite out on stage Rana.
Thanks, Lorraine. A key component of building a modern workplace is creating tight connections between the people you work with, the content you create, and especially the conversations and meetings you share. So today we're going to show you some conceptual scenarios for how you can create those connections with intelligent devices and services that understand both our physical world and our digital world. Let's start with something we're all familiar with, meetings. Hey, Cortana, set up a meeting right now with the smart building team to discuss the new project proposal we're creating.
Sure thing. You are all free now. Where do you want to meet?
Find me a conference room with a Surface Hub.
Okay, Teams Scrum Room is available now too. Want me to book it?
Yes, please.
Great, you are all set.
What you can see behind me is a common office meeting room, but this one's different. On the desk, we have a prototype device built on similar technologies to the ones we showed you earlier. It picks up both audio and video that you could pair with AI services and Microsoft 365 to help with key tasks like identification, voice transcription, and even real-time translation.
Welcome, Jamal. Hello, Dave.
The AI services even
你
identify
可以
Dave
看
and
到，在这
Jamal
个
as expected
会议室
meeting
里头，
attendees.
这个它
I'm
可以
gonna go
辨
join
识
them.
出现在谁进到这个 meeting room 里头。
Good morning, Rana. Would you like to start the meeting?
Yes, please. I know Katie and Julia are coming from another meeting, so let's go ahead and get started. Dave, what's the latest with the smart building pilot?
I've already done some preliminary analysis on the data, and I'm finding some high temperature outliers. We should discuss it later in the meeting.
Okay, sounds great.
Dave, do you know if we'll have enough of the Yanzi multi-sensors to update the showcase floor?
Actually, I have some concerns about the location of those sensors. We should hold off on doing a one-to-one replacement until I can...
Oh, I'm really sorry to interrupt, Dave. I actually have some ideas about the replacement, so maybe let's connect after the meeting.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll follow up with my team and post an update to the channel after the meeting.
And I'll follow up and send Yanzi an email about those showcase sensors.
Okay, that sounds great.
这边很蛮厉害，是说它可以及时辨识出
Now,
现在是谁
take
在
a
讲
look
话。
at the transcript behind me on the left. Even though we were all speaking over each other and the sound environment here is actually pretty challenging, the AI services coupled with the audio and video signals from the device could still
可以看
accurately
到它在这
identify
个
who was speaking
画面
and
上
when.
面，它可以及时辨识
You'll
现在
also
谁在讲
notice that
话
it picked up our meeting
啊
items
内容
and listed
好，
them
然
on
后
the
还
right.
有确定说哪一段话是要来做这个笔记，好，可以在右侧的 panel 上面可以看到，还有把
And
重要的
recognizes
部
our
分
speech patterns
来 take
even
notes。
when we're speaking in business jargon. This not only helps the interactions in the meeting room, but it helps remote participants have a more active meeting experience. Our remote teammate in China can see and hear a translation
然后
of
左
this
侧
meeting.
有这个
In
即
fact,
时
we
翻
can
译，
support multiple simultaneous translations. Hey, Katie. Hey, Julia. Hey. With Microsoft Teams, we can continue this conversation right within the context of the work we're creating together and the business apps we use to stay on top of our project. I can even access great third-party apps like Trello and
好，这个
GitHub.
是 Teams，Microsoft
But now
Teams 的画面。
Cortana is in this workspace with me, so she can help me stay connected across all my experiences. As you can see here, Cortana has detected that we need to find a time to meet. Instead of me struggling to find time that works for everyone's calendar, Cortana will automatically offer up a few options
好，就是
based
融
on
入
our mutual
Cortana 的这
availability.
个功
She'll
能在
even
Teams
carry
的
the
对话里
context
头，
of our conversation forward to the meeting details.
所以它会
And just like that,
提
our
示
meeting
说
is
要不要
scheduled.
建议一个这个 meeting 的时间。
But Cortana also understands the files we're working with, can detect that I want to share the Q2 sales forecast, and will bring the most relevant documents straight into this conversation with my team, so I can share it in just a matter of seconds.
Nice. Hey, even though I came in late, I love that I can catch up and identify everyone in the room. I'm deaf, and I work with a sign language interpreter. The transcript doesn't eliminate the need for my interpreter, but it lets me give my full attention without having to worry about note-taking. This makes it a lot easier for me to bring my engineering knowledge to the table and participate in the discussion. I love getting the meeting notes at the end, too.
可以注意这个 Katy 是后来才加入 meeting， 它一样可以辨识出新的。
I've already started on the outline, but there's a bunch of elements we still need to include. Creating a proposal like this in the past was time-consuming, not just for me, but for everyone on my team. I'd send emails to experts, search for information I need, and run reports from line of business apps, all just to pull them into the document. Now, since everything is a part of the Microsoft Graph, I never have to leave my document, which means that I can stay focused, ask for what I need, and it just shows up. As I'm working on my document, I can add a simple reminder as a placeholder. Or say, I want to get a customer quote from my colleague, Patty. So what I'll do is I'll @mention Patty and ask her to please provide that great customer quote. Now, in the past, I'd have to switch from Word to Outlook and run the risk of getting sucked back into my inbox. But now, Patty's quote will show up in the document exactly where I need it. And what's great is I can keep working. So let's do that. Lastly, I want to provide some more information about the Yanzi smart building sensors. So what I'll do is add to do and remind myself to insert the Yanzi information here. Now, this is my favorite part. Cortana has remembered that I've used this phrase before. Saw my intent from the to-do item, and then suggested the information I needed using AI. And in case you didn't notice, Patty's information showed up right as I was doing it. The graph becomes richer the more we use this service, and will better understand our intent. In the future, developers will be able to connect and extend their own applications and data sources to the graph and have that information show up in the document exactly where you need it.
data 里面看到过去跟这个相关的资料，然后看他要不要直接就插入到这个片段里头。
I've been texting with James. Let me take a look. As an engineer, I spend a huge amount of time in front of my PC, but I'm also getting non-stop text messages and alerts on my phone. On average, we open our phones more than 100 times per day. But we think we can do better. with an Android phone and upcoming version of Windows 10. Let me show you 2 simple examples. As you can see, I'm getting SMS messages from my phone right here on my PC. I love being able to respond without having to pick up my phone and unlock it. It's much easier to type messages on my PC. I can also drag pictures from my desktop. Let me send this over. Not only that, when I get a picture from James, I can use it right
这是
away
一个新的 app
just
吗？
by dragging and dropping it into PowerPoint.
Uphone 是一个新的 app， 那到时候就是说，透过这个 app， 它可以连接到就是你的 iOS 或 Android 手机，然后把手机上面的一些讯息就是传到 PC 上，然后同时间你也可以在 PC 上回复这些讯息。
And can click on them to open the equivalent Windows app
对，包含简讯。
or see them on the web. Here I'm opening a Medium article on smart building design.
现在看到就有简讯啊，聊天讯息，可能要看一下。
刚刚应该还有秀到就是 notification， 就是手机的通知。
Great.
This is the last 24 hours of temperature sensor data. And I can see that most of the sensors are reporting normal values. But I've got these 3 high temperature outliers. Let me reorganize the data by room type. When I do that, I can see that most of the high values are coming from focus rooms.
But we looked into that, didn't we? We didn't find any equipment in the focus rooms that would cause a temperature spike.
Yeah.
Right. But let me reorganize the data spatially because I found something interesting.
OK.
These are the actual 3-dimensional positions of the sensors with the building plan. But let me add a 3D map layer from Bing for additional context. Now, I think the best way to look at spatial data is using my
这
HoloLens.
边
So I'm
秀
going to
的
switch
其实就是说，
devices.
把你的资料透过 Power BI 秀在3D 的，
Now I'm going to
透过
connect my
3D 来
device to
显
the
示，
screen.
那甚至是你可以配上 Map。
And share my view. Now let's take the hologram that I'm looking at and place it directly onto the meeting room table. In this way, everyone can get a sense of what I am seeing without having us all to wear HoloLenses. Now I can clearly see
前用
that the 3
HoloLens 的话，
sensors
有
giving
时
us
候
a
会有个
problem
问题，就
are
是其实
vertically
你
aligned
不太
with
会
one
知
another.
道在讲的人到底在看什么东西。那它这边就是让你变成，你其实可以看到用 HoloLens 的人到底看哪里，他在说什么事情。
Hey, Tal. Now I can see Tal's avatar looking around the data, just as if she was in the room with us. Tal, have you got any insight as to
讲的就是
why
有
these
另外一个
3
人其实也可以
sensors that are in a
同时的
vertical
就引
stack
进来，
might be
带了
giving us an issue?
另外一副 HoloLens。
Dave, there's a hot air duct running from the cafeteria kitchen on the ground floor up to the roof. There were some changes in the kitchen recently. We may be way over spec thermally.
Got it. Maybe we should change the sensor placement for more consistent readings.
It's a good idea.
That's great. I'll follow up with the building manager to check both the hot air duct and the sensor position. Data visualization is a powerful tool for both finding and sharing insights in data, especially when we can collaborate with multiple people across multiple devices.
Using AI in the cloud, everything we've discussed has now been neatly captured as a searchable transcript on the left. And a summary of all of our meeting items have automatically been created for us on the right. Which reminds me, Dave, I need to follow up with you so you can present that data to our leadership team next week.
Great.
Great meeting. Thanks, team.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Today, we've shown you our vision for the future of modern work and how we can leverage the power of AI
所以
to
大家在
connect
画面上面
experiences
看
across
到
our physical
会
and
议室
digital
右
worlds.
侧有一个打手语，
With a
它是要
range
打
of
给
intelligent
Katie 看。
devices and services,
对
we can now understand the spoken
对对
and
对对，不是
unspoken
手语
nuance
辨
of
识
meetings,
那个，
even
它
when
是
we're
打
not
给
in the
Katie
room.
看的，对对对。
Carry those insights into our broader team experiences and create opportunities for anyone to collaborate in more immersive ways. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rana and team. That was just pretty stunning stuff. You know, the opportunity, this platform shift to the intelligent cloud and the intelligent edge is pretty limitless. You saw that with Microsoft Azure and Microsoft 365. I mean, just 2 data points, that 9 billion microcontrollers are now compute endpoints. 2 billion plus people who are first-line workers are addressable with these scenarios with Microsoft 365. Just think about that as the base for which we want to innovate, build applications. Now, in fact, this very shift is even shaping the 2 other platforms, Microsoft Gaming and Dynamics 365. At GDC, we talked about how we're innovating across the console, PC, mobile, as well as with PlayFab on the cloud. And you'll see us talk more at E3 about where we are taking gaming. We're very, very excited about that opportunity. With Dynamics, in fact, the spring release we just recently launched, we also launched this very powerful platform, the Power Platform, Power BI, Flow, Power Apps, which acts as the extensibility framework for Microsoft Graph, extensibility framework for Dynamics, as well as Microsoft 365. And it's embeddable by every SaaS ISV.
其实从这张投影片可以看到，这个所谓 Intelligent Edge、Intelligent Cloud， 其实不只是 Azure 这一项产品，它还包含了像 Microsoft 365、Dynamics 365， 还有 Microsoft 关于 Gaming 相关的这个平台。好，其实都是围绕着这些的情境啊、概念啊来开发。好，所以提到 Intelligent Edge、Intelligent Cloud。 不只是 Azure， 不只是 IoT， 其实是所有微软的 platform 都朝向这个方向在发展。所以刚才我们看到新版的诠释，它左边的3个新的特征，一个 ubiquitous computing， 好，就是在随处都可以做 computation 啊，然后 AI 是灵魂，然后还有这个multi sense、multi device 的 experience。
We have a real responsibility.
这个大概就是今年的定，应该就是新版的 Intelligent Cloud、Intelligent Edge。
In the last few years at Microsoft, I have been truly inspired by the passion of people, the developers inside as well as in this community, where we have really taken some of the advances in AI in particular and applied it to accessibility. Applied it to help people with disabilities. It's been a personal passion of mine, and it's been a privilege for me, a blessing for me to see that unfold. Every year we have this Hack Fest or 1 week, and each time when I see the types of things the developers are capable of doing, the magic they can create with learning tools in OneNote or using Gaze with ALS, it just really helps me see the bigger picture of what technology can do. Let's roll the video.
We have so many people who are non-verbal, but still have so much to say.
I want the exact same information that my hearing friends have.
There are barriers to communication everywhere, but I think it's time we look at the barriers as opportunities to reach out to everyone.
能看到很多人们的沟通其实都是很有距离，还有限制。
You can just put it in your pocket and go.
With ALS, you become locked in.
有的人可能行动不便，有的人可能听不到，或者是没办法说话等等。
There's no better feeling than to hear a child say something that they've wanted to say, and the look on their face after they've been able to say it.
When it's reading, I see spaces between the words, and it's easy to focus on.
Ajay realized that here was something that could change his life.
Now that I have my phone, I can see exactly what was said.
所以我们希望透过发展 AI 的科技，来增加人们这个操作或者是沟通上面的亲和力，可以打破这些原本造成这些人们沟通上面的各种阻碍，甚至包含是语言的阻碍。
aider les personnes avec autisme à communiquer, il y a des images.
Je parle, je donne une information à Arthur et elle est
所以也可以说，微软在挑战的
instantanément
挑战巴别塔。
et après, d'une façon orale.
Va t'habiller et te brosser les dents.
On va pouvoir remettre en place une communication qui est plus spontanée. Je crois que ça aide à recréer du lien.
Both my wife and I are totally blind, and we have a 3-year-old son that's in preschool. He can see, but his parents can't. So to be able to know what's going on at his school is everything. The Seeing AI app has the ability to allow me access to the visual world. Artificial intelligence is beginning to have an impact on the lives of people with disabilities, but it's only going to grow. There is still so much out there to be done.
AI for accessibility， 好，我们希望发展 AI， 增加这些这个操作装置也好，或者沟通上面的亲和力，也就是让各种不便的都可以被消除。
AI for accessibility. This is a grant program that we are creating so that we can give grants to researchers, NGOs, developers.
微软在去年有一个叫做 AI for Earth 的 project， 就是我们会去赞助一些跟地球环境有关的研究，那可以提供他们一些就是说一些云端运算的资源跟一些技术的资源。那在这次里面我们是 announce 的是说 AI for accessibility， 那就是针对这些在于说可能在身心上面有一些不方便的人，那我们会提供他们一些技术资源跟一些云端资源给他们来做，让学者做一些研究使用。
Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Allison, and I am on the developer advocacy team here at Microsoft. I'm here to lead a very quick stretching break in between keynotes. Working with developers over the years, I see the toll that this role takes on our bodies. So these, in 90 seconds or less, these are my top stretching recommendations to keep all of you safe and healthy. This next part is, of course, optional, as is everything, but I do at this time invite you all to stand up just for a moment. I like how this is landing. Okay.
小小的中场休息时间。
Perfect. So standing up as tall as you can, flip your arms so the palms face forward. Shoulders can come down just a little bit. Excellent. Spread your fingers as wide as you possibly can. All right, we start with the hands. Bring the hands together, interlace the fingers. Push as hard as you possibly can. Take a really deep breath in. 现在中场休息啊，我们现场的 developer 要不要站起来？ Hold it.
跟他们要伸展一下。
And exhale, let it go. Everything down.
不要太用力啊。
Perfect. All right, sweep the arms up high overhead. Just for a moment. We might need to negotiate a little space here. Take your elbows down to shoulder height. Perfect. Spread your fingers as wide as you possibly can here. Amazing. Okay, now start to draw the forearms back. Deep breath in. And then deep breath out. Bring the elbows and the palms together in front. Perfect. One more time. Open up. Amazing. And then close up. Perfect. Arms down by your sides. All right, so a shoulder roll rule of thumb is up, back, and down. So drawing your shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back, flip your palms again. You see what happens when, yep, perfect. Spread the fingers as wide as you can, and now down. One more time together, roll up, roll back, and down. Perfect. All right, we'll release the neck, and then we'll be free to go. From here, looking down at your feet, tuck your chin into your chest. Perfect. Hips come forward just a little bit. All right, now look up towards the ceiling. All right, now look back towards me. This next part will involve curling in all fingers except for your thumb. Squeeze pretty tight. This is the best one. If we're gonna do anything to help our bodies out, this is it. Squeezing pretty tight, the thumbs are pointing back towards you. Draw the arms down by your sides. back to the neck. Look to your right, tuck your chin to chest. Now pull your left hand down towards the ground, and then flip the hand so the thumb points behind you. Perfect. Come back to center, relax. Look down towards the left. Pull your right hand down towards the ground, squeeze the hand. Flip it so the thumb goes down.
在荧幕前的这个各位观众朋友，也可以趁机赶快去上个厕所，或者是喝杯水。
Is a little tricky here, but if you have your arms down by your sides, you squeeze in, you point the thumbs, thumbs up, thumbs down. This is the best carpal tunnel prevention relief that you can do. The best way to do it is actually up here, maybe sideways. Right, so pull your arms back, kind of like we did with that shoulder roll. Pull everything back, and then thumbs up, thumbs down. Squeeze tight. Raise your hand if you feel a little better. Yes, okay, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. I will be in the lounge all week. If you have any follow-up questions, please come by and say hi. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Today, right now, you have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. Think about that. That's what technology really is. It's possibility, it's adaptability, it's capability. But in the end, it's only a tool. What's a hammer without a person who swings it? It's not about what technology can do, it's about what you can do with it. You're the voice, and it's the microphone. When you're the artist, it's the paintbrush. We are living in the future we always dreamed of. We have mixed reality that changes how we see the world, and AI empowering us to change the world we see. You have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. So here's the question: what will you do with it?
Please welcome Scott Guthrie.
好，下半场要开始了。那听到 Scott Guthrie 上台，我想大家就可以知道这一趴就是 Microsoft Azure。
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Build.
微软的开发平台。
Satya just talked about the intelligent edge and the intelligent cloud, and some of the incredible opportunities we now have as developers, and the amazing impact we can have on people's lives. I'm now going to go deeper into the platform and tools we're delivering with Microsoft Azure, and how you can take advantage of them to build truly amazing solutions. Now, one of the defining aspects of cloud computing is the ability to innovate and release new technology faster and at greater scale than ever before. This new set of technology, things like IoT, machine learning, microservices, AI, serverless computing, and more, is all happening right now thanks in large part due to cloud computing. And this is an incredibly exciting time to be a developer, and the opportunities to really explore new approaches and technology have never been greater. But I also recognize, all this stuff is cool, but it can also be more than a little overwhelming. I hear that concern a lot with a lot of my conversations with developers around the world. The expectation to know all of these new technologies, to be up to date with them all the time, can sometimes leave you feeling like you're falling behind. And the expectations that your companies have on you to quickly deliver breakthrough experiences with all this new technology has never been higher. In a lot of cases now, the technology that we're talking about today is really being bet on to deliver radically new digital experiences that completely transform your organization's business model. And you have to be careful about security while also simultaneously trying to be an expert on all this new tech and deliver those breakthrough solutions. And needless to say, this isn't all easy. And it's really with this understanding that shapes how we try to build and deliver Azure. Every day, my team comes to work to make Azure a powerful enterprise-grade cloud service. And the more important work that we do is, in terms of building Azure, is really trying to focus it to guide it around your success. Having lots of great technology and lots of features is necessary, but not sufficient. It's really about how successful you can be using this technology in the cloud that ultimately matters. And to deliver on that, we focus Azure innovation really on your needs by making cutting-edge technology approachable to all developers and doing the heavy lifting to ensure that Azure uniquely meets enterprise scenarios. This means having an end-to-end experience across our cloud services, our management tools, and development tools that provides an incredibly productive cloud experience. One that's hybrid and enables you to build solutions that run consistently within both our public cloud data centers as well as your own. It means having a cloud that enables you to use AI and data to infuse intelligence into all your solutions. And it means having a cloud that you can trust. Trust is a core value of Azure, and we lead the industry on our work around security, compliance, privacy, and responsibility. And the focus we've had on delivering on innovation, trust, and results is leading to tremendous adoption of Azure right now. And you heard Satya talk about a whole bunch of the great customers using it today. Startups, governments, and over 90% of the Fortune 500 companies in the world are now running their businesses on Azure. These are just a handful of some of the logos of customers running on Azure today. Let's watch a video of a few of them talking about how they're using Azure to drive their success.
Microsoft Azure allows us to move forward our DevOps strategy. It's a way for us to manage, maintain, and build out our infrastructure.
The benefits we saw from the Azure migration was almost immediate.
Cosmos DB allows Domino's to have a globally redundant, reliable, and compliant solution all across the world. A few mouse clicks, you have a SQL solution in Europe.
We love the ability for us to, every single day, every single hour, almost in real time, assess what is important for our customers.
We develop one solution, and we can run that in public Azure or Azure Stack.
The key with serverless is really that you have a very short way from coding into actual operation of your code. I love Kubernetes.
Visual Studio Team Services has been super impactful in terms of our new platforms that we're building. We're using it to build CI/CD pipelines with our Azure Cloud instance.
Where Visual Studio App Center stood out was its reliability. We can write tests in one language, run them on a bunch of devices, and be able to rely on the test results.
It is very simple. I love C#. With Samsung devices, .NET is going to be everywhere.
We are all racing towards secure. By bringing the community to the data, we're actually able to speed the discovery of new knowledge.
Azure will be one of the leaders in that technology.
Microsoft helped us achieve our digital transformation. It's put us over the top. We can handle the volume. We're like, bring it on. We want more.
So Azure's a broad platform. You can use Azure for infrastructure and just take advantage of it for things like compute, storage, and virtual machines. But you can also take advantage
这边列出了虽然列出5个 scenario， 不过就是现在 developer 非常重视的5个领域。那 Azure 接下来当然就会解释在这个5个 developer 都非常关注的领域里头 ，Azure 怎么样来帮助 developer 完成他们的任务。
Our mission with Visual Studio is to provide best-in-class tools for every developer. And we now have tools for developers who want a lightweight code-optimized editor, as well as for those looking for a full development IDE. And with Visual Studio Team Services, we provide a suite of developer SaaS services that deliver a complete DevOps experience. And when combined with Microsoft Azure, these tools deliver a fantastic development stack with unparalleled developer productivity for every developer. Now, one of the great new Visual Studio improvements we're making available today is a new capability.
首先宣布的是，去年年底，如果你有关注 Visual Studio Connect 的话，你会关注到这个服务 Visual Studio Live Share。它可以让Visual Studio 还有 Visual Studio Code 的 user 可以彼此共同协作同一个开发专案。所以你跟你的同事。假设要进行 pair programming， 不一定要坐在一起，即便你们在远端，都可以那个即时的这个对2个小帮手，对啊，就是不管他是用 Visual Studio， 你用 Visual Studio Code 还是都一样他都可以对同一个 project 可以。接下来就会有这个 live demo。
Developer collaboration usually doesn't start until after somebody makes a commit. And that's often really too late for teams that are motivated by time to market.
所以以后这个有人在台上 demo 就有可以找枪手在下面帮他 live 打 code。台上要很会表演，气定神闲。
So I'm supposed to deploy the Guestbook app for the LiveShare booth in like the next hour, but photos aren't showing up anymore, and I'm kind of starting to freak out. Now, to get Amanda's help, I could start a screen sharing session, but the constant back and forth over control of the keyboard gets really tedious. And frankly, I'm a little bit tired of people saying that my editor theme looks like the aftermath of Cinco de Mayo. So let's use something new instead. Let's use Visual Studio LiveShare. Now, I'm on my Mac. I'm using Visual Studio Code, and I've already installed the LiveShare extension. So what I'm going to do is go down to the status bar.
它现在画面是 Visual Studio Code， 然后是 enable LiveShare 的功能。
link that I can give to Amanda to get her help in my context right here.
然后他就可以把他的这个 LiveShare 的 URL 分享给他的同事，他同事就可以透过这个 URL 来跟他进行这个同步编辑。
All right, so all I have to do is go ahead and click on this link, and it'll automatically launch the preferred developer environment that I use, which is Visual Studio.
然后虽然他的同事是用 Visual Studio Code， 但是他可以用 Visual Studio 打开。
I'm on Visual Studio, he's in VS Code. He likes techno party theme colors, and I like a little bit more classic themes. Now, as we join in Visual Studio, you'll see that it's populated by the context that's actually on Jonathan's machine. I have none of the dependencies that he has to run this source code. I didn't clone the repo.
画面比对可以让你看到，左边是 Amanda 在 Windows 上面用 Visual Studio， 右边是他的同事 Jonathan 在 Mac 上面用 Visual Studio Code。
Now, as soon as
it connects,
you can see that I'm automatically brought to the place where his cursor is currently at, and I can see his cursor move around. I can also see him select
所以当任何一个人在移动游标的时候，我们都可以在另外一个人的画面中看到，就像同步编辑 Word 啊，或者是
investigate what's going on in the folder, so that I can look at other code to get my bearings a little bit. All right, Jonathan, now that I'm in, what's going on?
So the Guestbook isn't showing photos anymore, and I kind of think it's related to this code right here, but I'm not exactly sure. Any ideas?
像这个 LiveShare 的功能，然后另外一个人一直在
I really can't think straight with red squiggles, so that's the first thing I have to take care of.
好 ，Demo 你要跟我们讲评一下。
Now, as you guys
像这个
can see,
LiveShare 的功能啊，对于我们公司来，对于我们公司来讲，因为我们公司所有的 IT 都是那个纯远端的，所以对于我们来讲的话，这个功能对我们非常的方便。我们没有需要说，因为大家都知道那种新创公司嘛，写扣大概都是凌晨，大概这种时候才开始在写，我们不可能在这时候可以见面来讨论什么。那以前的话就很糟，就是你截一张图我看一下，那我截一张图你看一下。那有了这个功能以后，其实我们可以直接专注着画面，然后我们一起的去把这件事情完成，这个任务去完成，甚至于包含说一些 debug 的时候，因为它有个好处是它不是限制1对1嘛，它可以有很多人一起进来看同一份code，所以对于 debug 的时候，我们可以比较多人看那个可能看到的盲点会比较快一点。所以说这个功能其实是对于我们来讲，我们是一直都非常很期待说它正式发行以后，可以让我们整个 team 都可以直接使用。
All right, Jonathan, I think I know
对，刚才 demo 提到了哦，这个功能特别适合这个开发团队都是在远端工作。好，那这样大家要讨论啊，或者是共同在解决一个问题的时候，不必特别的这个找时间聚在一起，甚至在深夜，大家可以在自己家里头就进行这个远端共同即时协作，因为它叫 LiveShare。好，所以
If I go and press this play button, it's going to launch that app, share it with Amanda, and hit the breakpoint that she just set.
而且 even 在 debug 的时候，你可以看到它连中断点的设定都有同步分享过去。所以它不只是这个编写程式，它甚至连在 debug 的时候都可以互相 share 这样子的debug 的进度。
I can look at locals and expand to understand what this is. I even have a shared debug cursor. I have access to the same execution point that he has. So I can go ahead and even step over and then get hover tips to understand what the values are. And I can see that, yep, Jonathan, I think I figured out your problem. This signature is 44, and it really should be an object. So you're calling unshift on array, but it really should be shift. So I'm just going to save that, and I think that should work.
All right, now I'd really like for Amanda
所以
to be able to
Amanda 帮他
verify
看
the
到了
fix
他
that she just made
呼
before I
叫
let her
错
off
的
the
这个
hook. But the guestbook app
Mason
is running
name
local on my
所以
machine,
他直接帮
and
他
I'm
修
not
改
ready to deploy it yet, and I
那
certainly
Jonathan
don't
就
want
可
to
以直
expose
接
it over
收
the
到修改
internet.
后的结果
But
再
because
重
LiveShare
新执行它的
provides
程
us with a
式
secure connection between my and Amanda's machine, I can actually share the web app that is running on localhost with her so that she could see it as if it was running on her machine.
其实这边也提到一个很重要的东西，就是它可以及时去看到你的错误讯息，还有你的程式怎么赚钱。那其实，在我们公司有一个情境，就是你在带新人的时候，有时候你在 code review 跟他讲程式这边有错误，他其实不一定能理解。所以你透过这个方式及时的跟他沟通，其实跟他讲说这个程式要怎么修改，其实是非常有帮助的。
All right, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm kind of out of hot water at this point, mostly, but let's make sure that we didn't regress anything else and run our tests. Now, the Guestbook app, like many modern applications today, actually runs its tests from the command line. But Amanda's not standing right next to me to run that or view the results with me. But once again, because LiveShare provides that secure connection between the two of us, I can also share a live terminal instance with her that she will see on her end, and can then run our tests and let us both view the results in real time.
So as soon as he starts that terminal, it's shared. And this isn't just a terminal that's specific to this debug session. It's actually a shared terminal access to his machine. So I could use this
现在
to
demo 的部分
inspect,
是
developer configuration,
它不
for
只是
example,
编
and see
辑
what
视
version
窗
of
学，
Node
它
is
连
running.
remote
But
的
in this case,
terminal 的
I'm
环
just going to
境
use this，
然后
to call
Jonathan
our
在
test.
Mac 上面的这个 Bash 的 shell， 好，也可以把它
And we
share
both see
给
the results at the
Amanda 的
same
这个
time.
Visual
It looks
Studio
like
上
it's
面来
good.
run。
Yeah, so we fixed the app. I think
所以
the
他们
test
其实不
results speak
就
for
是
themselves.
包含
LiveShare is
了
awesome. Thank you so much,
协
Amanda.
同
High
编
five,
写
high
程
five.
式码，
Ready to go
然后还有
live.
Yeah.
一起
Great,
合作
thank
you.
debug， 然后还有这个执行这个 terminal 终端机的这个程式，好来这个可能看一下它
I'm excited to share that Visual
编
Studio
写后的
Live
状况。
Share is now available for you to start using today. So you can start downloading it. Please wait till the end of the keynote, but you're welcome to start using it. And I'm
那
also really happy to
VS
announce
的
that
话，
we're
你
making
就是
it
从它已
free
经
for all
public
Visual
preview，
Studio
所以
and
你
Visual
基本上
Studio
你
code
今天看
developers
完
on
之后，
every
应该就可以
platform.
开始使用了。
对，刚才 Scott 说这个 Live Share 的功能在 Keynote 结束后，大家稍微等待一下，这个功能就会慢慢的 roll out 给大家来 preview 来试用。
support open source projects in a deep way, but we also have open source much of our own product development.
Microsoft love open source software， 好，这个已经进阶了，好，我记得前几年版本都是 Love Linux， 现在直接开地图炮，Love open source software。
And VS Code is just one example of how we're really trying to change our development approach to be much more open and inclusive at Microsoft. You know, things like .NET Core, NuGet, PowerShell, and our
对啊，
Azure
分享
SDKs
环境的协作最好的就是避免大家讲出在我电脑上是好的这句话。
And what I'd like to do is invite Jason Warner, the Senior Vice President of Technology at GitHub, on stage to talk a little about GitHub and some of the changes they're seeing as part of this engagement, as well as to talk about some exciting work that we're launching together today. So please join me in welcoming Jason.
Hey, Scott.
Well, welcome, Jason. Thanks for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about GitHub and the mission you guys have for developers?
Sure. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, GitHub's core mission is to make developers' lives better. We started this by revolutionizing code collaboration. Today, the majority of the world's code, both public and private, sits on GitHub with 27 million developers collaborating across 80 million repositories.
Azure 或者是
We view
Visual
ourselves
Studio
as stewards of
在
developers,
DevOps 上面的
and we aim to
一个
reduce
新
the
的合
friction
作。
in the entire software development lifecycle to get developers back to doing what they care about most, which is writing code.
That's awesome. So yeah, we very much obviously share your vision in terms of both how developers and specifically open source can really fuel innovation. And that's really, as I talked about, one of the core reasons why it's become such a critical part of our engineering culture over the last few years.
I think it's amazing to see what Microsoft has done in the past few years. The industry has shifted and to realize the power of open source. And in fact, I don't think it's too bold to say that open source now powers modern software development. And Microsoft might be the best example of a corporation embracing open source. We know from statistics that we have in GitHub that Microsoft is the single largest corporate contributor to open source on GitHub, and thereby extension in the history of open source. In fact, Microsoft has the largest open source community in the entire world with Visual Studio Code.
That's pretty awesome. And I know in addition to contributing projects and hosting them on GitHub, one of the other things that our two teams have been working on a lot has actually been on several other projects in terms of technology integration that we've done. I was wondering if you could share a little bit about those and from your perspective how it's helping developers.
Absolutely. We've been able to accomplish a lot over the past few years. Last year at Microsoft Connect, we announced our combined work on GVFS, which allowed Git to scale to the world's largest repositories across Windows and Linux. And with our shared developer focus, our areas of interest seem to overlap more and more with each passing year. And I'm excited to see us working this way out in the open.
I know our teams have been working hard on something new that we're launching today and that GitHub's doing even more broadly across your ecosystem. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you guys are rolling out and how we're integrating?
Absolutely. Today, we're announcing the public beta of the GitHub Checks API, which will allow our partner integrators to do very deep, annotated, and rich data sets across all manners of continuous integration, including linting and code analysis. And we're excited to see what you're all going to do with that today.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Jason.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Well, as Jason just mentioned, one of the things that we're excited to announce today is some of the deeper integration that we're doing between GitHub and our overall set of Azure and Visual Studio DevOps capability. And the first scenario that we're releasing today is integrating the mobile DevOps tooling support that we provide with Visual Studio App Center.
这个是 Visual Studio App Center 跟 GitHub 的这个合作，那就是整合了这个CD/CI 的流程。
To a wide variety of different devices, including both iOS and Android, to monitor the performance of those apps, as well as to collect analytics.
Visual Studio App Center 是这个一个 mobile application 的这个 DevOps 的工具。那今天宣布了就是你可以从 GitHub 就把 code 放在 GitHub， 然后跟这个 App Center 来整合你的这个 mobile application 的这个DevOps 的流程。
What I'd like to do is invite Samina, who leads the PM team for VS App Center, on stage to actually show off VS App Center and the great integration we now have with GitHub. Here's Samina.
Thank you, Scott. I am so excited to show you today how with App Center and GitHub, we take developer productivity to a whole new level. From pushing code to the repository to shipping the app to the App Store in under 3 minutes. Ready? Here in GitHub is the repository for the Smart Hotel demo app. This is an iOS app written in Swift. But the same steps work for apps written in Xamarin, React Native, or Android.
这个示范的 app 是一个用 Swift 写的 iOS 的 application.
And they open the pull request. And here in the pull request, GitHub automatically detects that no continuous integration has been set up and takes me to the GitHub marketplace for available GitHub apps. I am looking for a mobile CI solution, and App Center is right here.
我们它这个直接从这个GitHub 的页面上面加入这个 App Center 的整合的功能。
So I will go ahead and install it. I am now completing my free purchase. And finally, I am giving App Center access to my repositories.
然后把这个 app 装在它的repository 下面。
Now I am in App Center. And when I select the Smart Hotel repository, everything gets automatically detected.
然后现在它就在 App Center 里面去绑定它刚才这个 GitHub 的 repository。
App Center does the magic and detects all the build settings. So now we are ready to kick off a build.
好，所以这个绑定完成之后，在这个 GitHub 上面，好，这个做 CI， 好就会整合到这个 App Center 上面的流程。
Securely deletes the VM. With Azure, you can get from your repository to setting up continuous integration in under 3 minutes. And back to the demo app, the build is already running. Now this build will take 1 or 2 minutes to complete.
所以看这时候 App Center 就从那个GitHub 上面把 code J-code 下来，然后开始在 App Center 上面做 S-code build。
I can see all the checks have passed, and the build is successful. Now, before merging the pull request and distributing the app to my users, I want to run a suite of automated UI tests and to make sure that no regressions were introduced. App Center offers thousands of devices with different operating systems and languages, all hosted in Azure.
测试 App 在不同 device 上面运作的状况，然后可以根据你所撰写的这个 test script 来执行这个 app。
But remember, App Center also supports apps written in Xamarin, React Native, and Java. So I ran the test for the Android version of the Smart Hotel app on over 100 Android devices. And all you see here are real physical devices hosted in the Azure cloud. Now, if we look closer,
所以这边就可以看到有几个手机在 run 这个 app 的时候就发生问题。
The app did not transition to the home screen. So later, the team can troubleshoot the issues, look at the test logs, and fix the issues. We have now seen how the app is continuously building on every chain. UI tests are validating the user flows. So now we are ready to publish the app to the App Store to our end users. In the past, we might have done this manually over and over again. But now we can use the same continuous delivery process and do it automatically with App Center and GitHub. So I will configure the master branch that for every successful build, it will automatically distribute it to the App Store. All I have to do is enable distribution to production right here. And with this, every new pull request merge to the master branch.
你也可以在 App Center 里面，除了把 App build 好的 App 给协助测试的人来安装，也可以直接发布到 App Store 里头。
uploaded to the App Store. Continuous delivery for your mobile apps has never been easier. Together, App Center and GitHub make app developers more productive. Get started today. We know you are going to love it. Thank you.
如果你是一个 mobile application 的开发人员，你一定要试试看 Visual Studio App Center.
DevOps tooling components that we provide as part of the Visual Studio family and Azure set of DevOps tooling. With our Visual Studio Team Services family of tools, we're making it easier to adopt a DevOps-based model and set your team up for success, regardless of the application type that you're working on. VSTS is fully integrated into Azure and includes everything that you need and works with every language and runtime environment that you already use. And we'd like to do now
在 DevOps 流程中的每一个 stage，Visual Studio Team Services 都有提供对应的功能，来协助你完成整个 DevOps 的 pipeline。
Using Visual Studio Team Services. Here's Donovan.
Thanks, Scott. Good morning, everyone. Let's try that again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Perfect. You know what time it is. It's time to rub a little DevOps on it and make it better. When we combine the power of Visual Studio Team Services in Azure, magic happens. We get to witness this magic every day as Visual Studio Team Services deploys itself into Azure. This gives our teams a unique perspective on how to apply DevOps best practices when deploying into the cloud. Let me show you how they do it. This is an actual dashboard of one of the teams that bring you VSTS every single day. It's customized to show how many days are left in the sprint and what work is currently assigned to them. We can also view this work on a Kanban board. This is a real-time status report. To update your status, you simply drag and drop. But this happens to be where our team actually works, so I probably shouldn't be moving any of these tiles around. Our team uses Git.
Demo 或 Dino 要不要分享一下使用 VSTS 做 DevOps 的心得？
You don't even remember why you created some of those branches, but not when you use our Kanban board.
像我们公司来讲啊，我们是完全使用 VSTS，像它的看板其实是我们每天看到已经不太想看的东西了。然后 VSTS 的看板它有一个好处就是当你如果已经是使用 Visual Studio 2017以后，它的看板的就是当你被接收事项或者说你的 task 被改变它的状态的时候，它可以直接在 Visual Studio 里面跳出alert。我觉得这是对于所有 developer 来讲一个非常大的好处，因为你不需要再离开你的 Visual Studio， 一切的资讯你都可以在 Visual Studio 里面看到。那尤其是在这 VSTS 里面，因为它是整个一条龙的一个机制，所以它可以让你在这上面除了一开始规划我这一个 sprint 到要做什么事情，包含说我的到底有多少个工时可以让他们做那些事情，甚至于到最后像它现在秀出来的这个就是当我档案部署上去以后，它会自动去跑一个 build 的动作，然后 build 完以后，它直接会把你所有的测试还有你的 core coverage 所有的报告直接给你。所以我觉得这对于新创或者说对于一般就是人力配置比较紧的团队来讲，这是一个非常好用的东西。非常好用的。那它的这一条龙的这种设计，其实会对于我们在操作，尤其是管理上啊，因为现在全部都是用云端，其实你要什么功能，你就是打勾就好了。你就是打勾情况之下，你可以让你真的那个比较少的 IT 人力全部拿去开发你的程式，去着重你的那个 business 的部分，而不是花那么多时间去建构这些东西。尤其是他现在，我觉得他最近改的很好，是他有增加了非常多的 webhook， 所以你可以很容易的结合现在市面上常在用的一些软体。
And if it finds any issues, release management will automatically stop our release and protect our customers. We have automated safe deployment. Now I know what you're dying to ask me right now, Donovan. How do we get started? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Could you get started in the Azure portal? We have a new feature called DevOps Projects that allow us to bring the power of Visual Studio Team Services right inside of the Azure portal. You get started like you would any other resource. You go to Create, and there is DevOps Projects. Gone are the days of you having to manually deploy code or FTP. You don't even have to right-click inside of your IDE. And as Damian Brady likes to say, friends don't let friends right-click publish. And now they never have to. And if you look at this page here, you instantly see that this is not your daddy's Microsoft. This is a Microsoft that understands Go and Ruby, PHP, and Python. Let's have some fun, and let's do a Java application. I get to choose my favorite framework, which happens to be Spring. Now, this is where the fun begins. I want to reassure you, if you're not ready for containers, don't let anyone pressure you into them. We can run your app the way that it is today inside of App Service. But if you are ready for containers, so are we. We're able to stand up an entire Kubernetes cluster for you and run your app inside of there. Let's have some fun with Kubernetes. At this point, you have to wire up your VSTS account. I see some of you getting anxious, thinking, but Donovan, we don't have a VSTS account.
这个功能你就不用全部都要自己从零开始做。
We can create one for you right here on the portal. But if you happen to have your own, let's go ahead and choose one that I already have for myself. So we'll choose this one. I need to give the product a name, and now I click on Done. Now I just sit back and relax while Visual Studio and Team Services work together to build us an entire CI/CD pipeline for our Java application. When this is done, I'm going to have a portal just like this one. This is a blade that shows me everything from Visual Studio Team Services and Azure in one place. I can see my commits to my repository, the builds, and the releases. I can see my cluster and even infrastructure information coming from application insights down here at the bottom. If I click on this link, I get to see the sample application running in my cluster right now. Chances are you have your own code. So why don't we go ahead and show you how you can actually use your own code as well.
像他现在把这个 dashboard 直接移到在 Azure 里面可以用的话，是一件非常好的事情哈。因为在我们之前，我们会必须要就闭板以后，必须要来 VSTS 看一下它的状态，然后再回到 Azure 去做一些 swap 的动作之类的。两个那个网站再切来切去，总是就比较麻烦。那所以它现在如果是整合的话，对于我们在操作的那个一体性来讲会好很多。
I'm going to choose my Smart Hotel 360, click on Select, and now I'm going to save and queue this build. I am now pulling code upon every commit from GitHub, building this Java application and packaging it as an image. I'm then going to take that image and deploy it all the way inside of Kubernetes. I hope you realize that this is not just a new era for Microsoft. This is a new era for all of us. Because when we combine the power of Visual Studio Team Services and Azure, here at Microsoft, we can implement DevOps for any language targeting any platform. Thank you so much, everyone.
So as Donovan just showed us in that demo, it's now easier than ever to set up a DevOps model using Azure. Using the new DevOps project support, you can set up CI/CD with a full application monitoring set up for .NET, for Java, for Node, for Python,
这个 DevOps project
是之前
announce 的服务。那今天 announce 新的 template 就是可以直接整合 deploy 到 AKS， 就是 Azure 上面的 Managed Container Service， 然后是用 Kubernetes 作为它的 orchestrator 工具。
It supports Git-based source control repositories in both Visual Studio Team Services as well as GitHub, and you can get started with it now for free. So now that we've covered some of the developer tooling improvements that we're shipping this week, let's now jump into discussing some of the Azure platform improvements that we're delivering as well.
接下来谈论的是 container 跟 serverless 这个部分。
set of highly engineered services that enable you to build, deploy, and scale your applications even faster. For example, our Azure Web App service provides an incredibly optimized way to run web applications as well as expose web APIs. Our Azure Serverless Functions service makes it incredibly easy to host serverless apps and code that can scale from just handling, say, 1 request per second up to literally millions of requests per second simultaneously. And with both our Azure Kubernetes service and Service Fabric offerings, we enable you to build modern container-based microservice applications. Let's talk a little bit about the new AKS service I mentioned. So our new AKS, or Azure Kubernetes service, provides a fully managed Kubernetes-based orchestration service. It provides built-in auto-patching, auto-scaling, and update support, which enables you to take the full breadth of the Kubernetes ecosystem when you're doing your development. And we're releasing a bunch of great updates with it this week at Build. One of the capabilities we're really excited to share is a new feature we call Dev Spaces. Dev Spaces enables a fast inner-loop development experience when building Kubernetes-based microservice applications. It enables you to edit and deploy code instantaneously, as well as debug and set breakpoints across multiple containers running in a microservice-based environment.
这个功能当是帮助你在这个 container 里面的 application 做快速的编辑跟 debug。
common team-based development environment and be able to test and iterate independently as appropriate. What I'd like to do is invite Scott Hanselman on stage to show off some of the new improvements we're shipping this week with Azure Kubernetes Service, as well as demonstrate how you'll be able to take advantage of Dev Spaces to get a super smooth interloop development experience with Kubernetes on Azure. Here's Scott.
Hey, friends. So we saw Donovan take a Java app through Azure DevOps projects, and he deployed that to AKS. Fast forward 30 days later, and the project is a lot bigger, the company's a lot bigger, and let's say that I'm a new developer. So I need to get up to speed on how to work on this as quickly as possible. This is the site that I'm working on, and I'm going to come down here because I was told that there was a bug. When people go and search for hotels, I can type in New York, and I find my New York. But when they type in Seattle, it doesn't work. So something is wrong. However, this application has a lot going on. I'm going to switch over to Visual Studio. That's where I live as a Visual Studio developer. And this is where I feel most comfortable. And I see that there's 8 different projects here. There's 8 different projects here, and there's maybe dozens and dozens elsewhere. And I'm told by Brady, who set up the AKS environment, that each one of these projects within Visual Studio maps directly to a microservice that's running in a container inside of AKS. So if I switch over into Azure, I can see all the different containers, not just the ones that are in Visual Studio, but the ones that other teams are working on that might be running in different languages, in different environments.
这个是 AKS 的
See, there's my hotel
这个
service.
Blade。
This is all running as
这边可以
part
看到
of Azure
它在这
Kubernetes
个
service, which is pretty amazing because it is a fully managed service.
每一个
I don't have any
container 的
VMs to
健
worry
康状
about.
况。
I didn't create a bunch of VMs and then install Kubernetes on them. I just have Kubernetes as a service. I can go and upgrade at any time. I can hit scale. And I can go and say I want 8 CPUs or I want hundreds of CPUs.
现在在 Portal 上面要做这些 upgrade 或 scale 的操作就变得很简单。
Now within this cluster, I can also peer into the health of individual containers. You can see, so that's green, that's good. OK is good. I'm going to open that up. Here's all these containers, and I can scope my namespace. Mainline is where I'm told that the bug is, and all the services can be picked from. I'm going to pick hotels, because that's the one that I am currently working on. If I click on hotels, and then open that up, I see some interesting stuff that the CPU is about 4 or 5%. There's my hotels container that I want to debug, because I think that's where the problem is. And I'm going to hit View Logs. Now, when I click into View Logs,
因为他刚才在测试这个 application 的时候，他有发现 bug， 所以他现在正在找问题在哪里。
And Brady gave me some queries to try out so I could learn this as a new developer. And I've put a couple of those into the clipboard. So here, I can go and do a search and say run. And now I'm looking at aggregate CPU over all of the containers instantly. You see it was about 4 or 5%. So obviously my problem is not a CPU-related problem. But I'm here to fix a bug, and I want to see if I can use the analytics to do that, because, again, there's dozens of containers. So I've got a query here where I'm going to look for places that return 0 results, because when I typed in Seattle, I got back 0 results. And then I know that it's written in C#, because that's my language, and that's the thing I'm working on. So I'm going to look for places where it contained the word controller. So hopefully we'll see if we can narrow down where this bug might have happened. And I can zoom in here and see the places where the bug has happened in the public web. And I can even change this and see how often that bug happens and then render it as a chart. Again, all of this built into the service and lets me do some amazing stuff. So I can see that clearly Brady checked into production at 5 and then just went home. So that's when the bugs started. So he won't be working here much longer.
查询语法其实在蛮多地方都用得上的，包含那个我们的 OMS 的 dashboard 也是利用类似的查询语法来建制那个 dashboard。所以在开发者的话，可以这个 DevOps 可以稍微注意一下这个语法。
I could go looking for it and hunting around in here, but I'm just going to hit Control T because this is my steez. This is where I live. I know how to move around inside of Visual Studio, so I'm just going to hit Control T and go to Cities Controller.
所以他刚才发现问题可能在这个 Cities Controller 里头。
Here's my get default cities. I'm going to right click on, say go to definition. These are the default cities that are hard-coded. And then up here, the actual microservice get that goes and talks to the back end. Now, we have 10 microservices here I can see in Visual Studio, but just so you can get a real sense, there's dozens elsewhere, and some of them are in different languages, but some of them are actual Azure services like Cosmos DB or Postgres or SQL. There's a lot going on to make this happen. So I go back over to Cities Controller, and I say, all right, we're looking for default cities or... Okay, and there's the bug. They didn't call get, they call get default cities, so that's a problem. They've actually only looking at the hard-coded cities. I'm going to change city queries to say get, pass in name, and go like this. Now I'm going to set a breakpoint, and you'll notice that this is all just the stuff that I ordinarily do as a Visual Studio developer, right? Nothing interesting going on here. However, if I were to hit F5 ordinarily, I might need to start up all of this stuff. Think about the amount of work it takes when someone says, hey, welcome to the company. Here's a laptop. Let's get this set up with a tiny production environment on your underpowered laptop, and then next week, we'll make you more productive. That's a complicated experience. I don't want to have that experience. Instead, I'm going to use Azure Dev Spaces, and I'm going to run this stuff up in AKS. I have my own personal space up there. Now, I think it's my own
因为它的这个 application， 它架构是这个 microservices。它如果在修改它某一个 project 的 code 的时候，它要测试它修改之后是不是正确的，那它可能就要把整个服务都 run 起来。
Test test, hey, how y'all doing?
哦，现场 delay。好。 对，它的是 microservices 的架构。它如果要 debug 一个其中一个 service， 它要把整个环境都 run 起来，这样很麻烦。所以利用这个 Azure 的这个 Dev Space， 这个 AKS 的 Dev Space， 它可以把这个它 debug 好的这个部分，利用已经 deploy 好的环境来进行测试。
太棒了，那就可以不用 deploy 一个一模一样的 AKS 环境来做这个 debug 用。
对，因为它这只是其中一个 project， 它这个 hotels 的 project 有问题，它不用把它全部都跑起来再测试。因为其他的可能没有问题，它就保持其他的这个 service 可以继续运作。那它只是在 debug 它目前正在关注的这个。他也不用在他自己的电脑把整个环境跑起来，他可以利用这个 AKS 的 Dev Space 把这个服务 build 好，然后放在上面来测试跟 debug。
I just want to debug that one microservice. I'm going to compile all of this into containers, put it into Azure Container Registry, drop it into Kubernetes, and then when we hit the URL,
所以现在他做的事情就是把这个 build 好或者说设好中断点，正在 debug 的这个project 放到这个 AKS 上面的 Dev Space 来做 debug。
And now we're going to hit a breakpoint, and I can hover over it. And I get the great experience in Visual Studio as if I were local.
所以它还是可以用这个Visual Studio 这个 debugger 来进行侦错。虽然它的服务现在已经跑在 AKS 上面了。
So what did we see? We have a fully managed Kubernetes. We've got auto patching, scaling. We've got upgrades. We've got an integrated container health. I searched terabytes of logs instantaneously. I've got the ability to rapidly debug and fix apps in a complicated environment like this with just Visual Studio and my Azure subscription. And thanks to AKS
刚刚漏讲一个，这个功能很重要的原因是因为我们不可能在 production 环境里面去做这个单步执行这个工作，所以有这个 Dev Space 的话，可以协助我们在 debug 的情况，在 production 的环境里面另外开一个 space 做测试。对。
So, as you look to modernize your applications and adopt a microservice-based architecture, one of the things you're also going to want to take advantage of is serverless-based computing. A serverless-based approach allows you to execute code in an event-driven way, which can help guide you to build applications that can scale better. But serverless computing can also help you save money by enabling you to avoid having to pay for server resources that you might not be fully using. And Azure enables you to really build a serverless-based solution that can respond to literally millions of events per second. Our Azure Function service enables you to execute on-demand serverless code written in a wide variety of different languages, including C#, JavaScript, Python, and Java. And our Azure Logic App service enables you to execute on-demand serverless workflows. These workflows can use more than 100 built-in data and app connectors that we provide out of the box, enabling you to integrate your workflows with data and actions that are in Office 365 or Dynamics 365, Salesforce, SAP, Adobe, Twitter, and more, and securely process and route data across long-running processes. These workflows can also then invoke Azure Function Apps, giving you a really robust way that you can integrate both code as well as declarative workflows together. Now, one of the new capabilities of Azure that you heard us talk a lot more about this week at Build is our Azure Event Grid service. Event Grid provides a routing service that makes it easy to route events from a wide variety of different event sources and connect them to event handlers to process them. Event Grid guarantees reliable event delivery and will automatically queue, for example, messages for later delivery if your event listener is not available. And it can scale to support millions of events per second. And enables you to build really robust event-driven architectures that enable you to eliminate polling and the associated costs of latency within your applications. And it runs both in the cloud with Azure, but you can also, it's included as part of our Azure Iot Edge as well as Azure Stack offerings. Now you can set up event grid routes programmatically using code. One of the cool things we're also doing starting this week is making it incredibly easy to set up events using the Azure portal as well. For example, this is a screenshot of a storage account in the Azure portal, so our standard Azure Blob storage service. And you'll notice now that we expose an events link on Azure resources directly inside the portal. And if you don't have any events registered when you click that link, we actually provide sort of some nice helpful UI that enables you to easily create and run serverless functions or logic apps.
现在你可以在 Storage Account 里面，自己定义这个 events。
Sample tutorial that's built in now. We make it super easy to create and wire up a serverless logic app workflow that can execute, for example, every time a video file is uploaded into my Azure Storage account. Here's what the logic app workflow looks like. You can see you kind of compose this workflow graphically using our designer. And notice how the built-in workflow is taking the uploaded file and then in turn calling an Azure cognitive service that we call our video indexer service that'll automatically transcribe the speech in the video into a text file into that storage account. And the great thing is I didn't have to write any code. I didn't have to spin up any VMs or other services. Instead, it all executed serverlessly using my declarative logic app workflow. And this is just one of literally hundreds of new event grid and serverless scenarios that we're making super easy to accomplish this week. And all of our Azure services will expose events that can be managed using Event Grid with this type of serverless composition model. Now, where this container and event-driven serverless technology becomes incredibly powerful is when handling new types of massive scale solutions like IoT. You know, IoT is now experiencing just exponential market growth. You know, 2 years from now, there'll be more than 20 billion connected devices in the world. You know, that's approximately 3 times the number of human beings on the planet. And the need for developers who can build IoT-based solutions is rapidly growing. We already have thousands of Azure IoT certified hardware devices in the market today, supported by hundreds of different partners. And what's great is that means as a developer, you can easily build Azure IoT-based solutions and take this hardware, take these solutions, and easily integrate them with our Azure IoT cloud services. And let's take a look at how we could do this. So our Azure IoT Hub service enables you to securely connect and manage up to billions of IoT devices. It was the thing that was on that back end when Sam was showing the drone, for example, in Satya's keynote this morning. And what's great about Azure IoT Hub is it can work with any IoT device out there and includes built-in security management capabilities. So for example, you can tell it to patch the device automatically. As well as device
Azure IoT Hub 是这个 IoT device 跟 Azure Cloud 连接的这个入口，几乎所有的 IoT device 都可以跟这个 IoT Hub 进行双向的沟通。所以不只是可以把讯息传到，透过 IoT Hub 传到云端，你也可以透过 IoT Hub 把讯息传到指定的 device。
You're probably wondering, okay, that sounds good. How easy is it to do? What I'd like to do is invite Jeff Hollins on stage to show off, literally from scratch, how easy it is to build using Azure IoT Hub and our Azure Serverless Functions programming model. So here's Jeff.
Thank you all very much, and thank you, Scott. All right, so I want to show you just how easy it is for every single developer to get started building applications across IoT and the cloud. And to do that, Scott has given me a challenge to build an IoT application from scratch, live in front of all of you now, in less than 5 minutes. And the application that I want to build is going to center around this IoT button. Now, this is a very simple IoT device created by one of our partners. And how it works is that whenever somebody presses this button, it automatically wakes up, connects to Wi-Fi, and sends some data up into the cloud. Now, the application that I have to build centers around Twitter. So I'm showing here a Twitter account, hashtag Azure IoT Demo if you want to follow along. And what I need to build is an application so that if you're at the conference and you see this button, or buttons just like it, and you see something awesome, that you can press this button and let the world know through a tweet that something awesome is happening.
他只要按下这个 button， 他就会发一则 tweet 讯息。所以他现在要开始倒数了。
The first part of this application is how these devices securely connect to the cloud. And for that, I'm in my Azure portal.
原来已经事先 provision 好 IoT Hub 了，
IoT Hub
是吗？
IoT Hub is an all-in-one service in Azure that allows me to connect, configure, manage, and monitor all of my IoT devices at massive scale. Now, I already have an IoT Hub in my subscription, so let's open it up here and see what it's doing.
他已经先建好了，不是从零开始。
There's actually a number of devices already connected to this hub, and it's even been sending some data throughout the day today. And I can come in here and drill into the devices that I've paired with this IoT Hub.
好，他现在做的事情先是跟这个 IoT Hub 注册他的 device。 因为你的 device 必须要在 IoT Hub 注册，你才会拿到这个 key 来做连接。
This will enable me to have serverless code.
然后它现在在 Visual Studio 开的这个 Azure Function 呢，主要就是要处理当讯息送到 IoT Hub 之后，它就要去发 Twitter 的讯息。
So in this new project, let's go ahead and add a new function. You'll notice there's actually a number of triggers that I can use to start
IoT
this
Hub
code,
trigger，
but I'm
就是
just
当
going to
有
use
新
this
的
IoT Hub trigger right
IoT
here.
Hub 的 event，
and let's associate it with my IoT Hub in my subscription.
当有新的 IoT Hub 的 event， 然后就 trigger 这个 function 做事情。
And to prove this out, let's just change this line of code and have it say button pressed. And we'll click Save here and click Run. Now I'm going ahead now, and what's powerful with Azure Serverless is that I can actually run Azure functions locally on my machine and debug it. In fact, I've gone ahead now and just pressed this button.
好，这边示范是把 Azure Function 在 local 执行起来。
securely connect to IoT Hub, see that trigger, and run my code. In fact, just to prove it again, I'll press this button again.
开发期间非常重要，就是使用开发者可以在自己的Visual Studio 自己的环境里面去测试可能Cloud 上面的 Storage 触发的这个 event， 或者是 IoT Hub 触发的 event， 然后在这边印证你的 code 是不是可以运作。
And the second thing that I want to know is the type of message that's being sent. As you notice, my IoT Hub is actually filled with a bunch of devices sending lots of data. And before I go and send a tweet, I actually want to make sure that the type is in fact equal to a button pressed. All right, we've written about 6 lines of code here. This is where I know I need to post a tweet. But I've only got about 2 minutes left. There is no way that I can look up the Twitter API and figure out how the crap to grab an OAuth1 token in that amount of time. So instead, what I'm going to do is leverage another piece of Azure Serverless, which is Logic Apps.
好，他发 Twitter 的这部分就直接用 Azure Logic App。
Now I'm going to add an action here, and what's powerful is that not only can I add other Azure functions that I've written, but there's over 200 connectors out of the box to enable me to integrate with services like Cosmos DB, Cognitive Services, GitHub, Google Docs, the Microsoft Graph, even on-premises SAP.
然后使用另外一个东西来触发 Logic App 的执行就可以。所以 Logic App 其实已经整合了很多知名的服务，所以只要你妥善的使用它，其实可以节省很多你开发的这个。
All right, so that's all we need for the workflow. The last thing I need to do here is wire it up to my Azure function. So let's grab this URL here and write one last line.
所以它这边就是送一个这个HTTP request 到这个 Logic App， 因为它 Logic App 那边也是用 HTTP 做 trigger。
Make sure to make this awaitable. I'm going to add this. Click Save, Run, Time. All right, we've got time to spare. Let's test this out now. I'm back here at Twitter. I'm going to go ahead now and press this button.
他宣称他做完了，所以我们他现在来看一下说他。
that Twitter connector, and when I click refresh here, you will see here now is a tweet sent to the world.
这是他刚才复制到 Logic App 里面要送到 Twitter 的讯息。好，所以在他很多东西都准备好的情况之下，4分钟以内就把这个App 开发完毕。
Thank you so much.
因为他 button 传到 IoT Hub 这一段其实已经事先写好，他刚才只是直接从 Azure Function 去接 IoT Hub 的 trigger 开始，
送到那个 Logic App。对，所以这也是我们开发在 Serverless 常见的场景。
对。And how easy it was to basically write code in the cloud that interacted with it. And this is great for many, many different scenarios where you really only need to run the logic in the cloud. But as Satya talked about this morning, the trend that we're seeing is where we're also increasingly moving to one where you also want to be able to run logic on the edge as well and interact both with the device and the environment in even richer ways and be able to do it locally while still retaining cloud connection. Azure Iot Edge runs on both Windows and Linux devices and provides a really easy way to build and deliver application functionality on the edge.
好，这个是在前面萨提亚展示了很多的应用场景里面，好，这个都一直提到的 IoT Edge， 它是一个 runtime 的环境，好，可以让你把一些Azure 上面进阶的应用 deploy 到这个 Edge 端，或者是你自己也可以开发 Edge 的 module deploy 到这个 IoT Edge 的 runtime 上面来执行。
And you can basically deploy and run both code as well as your own AI models using our Azure Cognitive Services, or by building and training your own model, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, on the edge as well, and run it in the context of an Azure IoT Edge device. And this gives you both an incredibly powerful and a very elegant way to build IoT solutions. What I'd like to do now is hand it back over to Jeff to show off how you can take this first IoT scenario that we just demoed and now extend it to build and deploy custom code and AI models using Azure IoT Edge.
Thanks, Scott. All right, so let's extend that application we just started. And what if instead of requiring somebody to press a button when they see something awesome, what if the device itself actually knew that there were awesome things around it and automatically sent a tweet? Now, to do that, I want to talk about Azure Iot Edge. So I'm back here in my Azure portal, and this is my IoT hub. This is the same hub we were just using for my button. But I want to call out here that there's a section here for my IoT Edge devices. Now, these are devices that actually run pieces of the Azure cloud directly on the device itself. And these aren't fancy devices that you have to special order. These are devices that you're likely already using today. In fact, two that I want to call out here is my Windows PC that I'm developing on right here, and this Raspberry Pi that's next to me, which is actually running Linux. Now, both of these are edge devices, and both of them have cameras.
它现在台上的 PC 啦，还有2个拍的装置都是有装了这个 IoT Edge 的环境，所以它现在要做的事情就是要把这个 module deploy 到这些 device 上面。我们可以看到这边有 Custom Vision 的 container。所以这是第一个。那个 Microsoft Cognitive Service 可以把它 deploy 到 Edge 端的这个 service 的 Custom Vision， 所以你可以利用 Custom Vision 的服务 train 自己的这个图片辨识的model， 然后把它deploy 到 IoT Edge 上面。那这个部分就不用这个连到网络上面才能操作，等于 local 就可以呼叫这个 Custom Vision 训练好的 model。
In fact, to build this model, I leveraged the Azure Custom Vision Service. This is one of the cognitive services that enables
之前 Custom Vision 已经可以 deploy 到 iOS 的 Core ML 或者是 Android 的 TensorFlow Lite。那今天这边announce 的是这个 Custom Vision 可以 deploy 到 IoT Edge 上面。
Here from the text, here's my Custom Vision portal, and I want to build my own Scott or Not app. Because chances are, if Scott is somewhere at build, there's something awesome happening. So here's the sample images I've uploaded. It's a wall of awesomeness. Some of these images are tagged with Scott,
这个就是 Custom Vision 的界面。你可以自己上传图片，然后标记 tag。
But I don't want to have to be sending
接下来就是让这个系统帮你 train 出这个辨识图片的 model。
And what's great here is that after training the model, I can actually click this export button and export this model to run on any device, even locally on the IoT Edge. So I've gone ahead now, I've trained this model. Let's choose that we do want to run this as a Docker container. Say I want this to be Linux, click download, save, done. This is the exact container that I have now imported into this solution, running now on these devices, looking at that camera feed and identifying.
这个画面是这个Visual Studio Code 里面的 IoT Toolkit.
I have my third piece, which is an Azure function running on a container on the device. Now, I actually want to show you that Azure function code because it should look familiar. This is the code here, and this is the exact same code that I wrote for my button a few minutes ago. The only difference is that this is running on the device locally, and you'll notice instead of looking if it's a button press or not, I'm actually detecting if it's Scott or not. Now, I built this whole application. I've deployed it and works on my Windows PC. So now let's talk about this Raspberry Pi that I also want to run it on. So if you're not familiar, this is a Raspberry Pi right here. It's a computer the size of a credit card. It has an ARM processor. It only has 1 gig of memory. It can run Windows IoT Core, but for right now, I'm actually running Linux on it. Now, I want to pull in all of that power of the Azure cloud and run it on this simple device right here. So let's test it out now. I want you to pay attention to these lights up here, because this is going to show us what the device is thinking. So here's the camera feed. I'm going to go ahead here and give a nice smile for the camera. And you'll notice that right away, this device has rejected me with a red X, letting me know that I am not, in fact, awesome, or Scott, getting flashbacks of high school. So we'll go ahead now, and Scott, if you'll join us, let's see if we can get something awesome to happen. If you'll go ahead and give a nice smile to the camera. And you'll notice that right away, this device has seen something awesome is happening. Thank you. It's actually posted another tweet with Scott's picture. Hopefully it was a flattering shot that it took of you, which also includes a link to this code. Now that's fantastic, and just an example how as a developer, I can use these powerful tools to build applications at massive scale on the Azure cloud. But when I need to, I can actually pull pieces of that cloud down and run with that power on a device as simple as this Raspberry Pi. Thank you so much.
刚刚透过那个 container 技术，把 Azure function， 然后machine learning train 好的 model， 还有你的 program 放置到 IoT Hub 里面去，让它在 local 执行，那就不用就是依赖着连线来完成这件事情。
Now, one of the most important decisions you'll make as you start to build large-scale cloud applications, whether it's for IoT or for any other scenario, is how to store and represent your data. So let's spend some time talking about how you can do that with Azure and some of the cool new things coming out this week. You know, Azure now provides an incredibly flexible choice of operational data services. In our Azure SQL database, Postgres, MySQL, Redis and Cosmos DB services.
在 Azure 上面，我们可以看到现在已经是几乎很多人都会用到的 database 的服务 ，relational 的或者是 NoSQL， 都可以在 Azure 上面使用这些 database 的服务。NoSQL 主要就是 Cosmos DB， 还有 Redis Cache。
We similarly provide built-in backup as well as point-in-time restore capabilities. The ability to easily scale up and scale down capacity. At will very quickly, and a whole bunch more capabilities that are all just built-in features that you can leverage. This enables you to be much more productive and build applications faster while still preserving the flexibility of your favorite database of choice. At last year's Build conference, we released Azure Cosmos DB, which is the world's first globally distributed multi-model NoSQL database service that delivers horizontal scale-out with guaranteed single-digit millisecond latency. We've seen incredible adoption of Cosmos DB over the last year, and it is today one of our fastest growing services across all of Azure. And the reason for this incredible adoption is because it really enables you to build amazing cloud solutions. With Cosmos DB, you have a horizontally scalable database that puts data everywhere your users are. Cosmos DB enables you to automatically replicate data across all Azure regions around the world, giving your users lightning-fast performance regardless of wherever they're accessing your application. Cosmos DB allows you to scale your storage and performance throughput across one or multiple Azure regions with zero application downtime. You can start with just, say, gigabytes of data and then scale up to manage petabytes of it. You can start by processing just, say, 100 operations per second, but then scale to tens of millions of operations per second around the world. And best of all, with Cosmos DB, you pay only for the storage and performance throughput that you provision. And Cosmos DB is unique in that it allows you to program against it using a variety of different APIs and data models. We support MongoDB, Gremlin Graph, Table, SQL APIs, Spark APIs,
呢，它有很多相容性 API， 比如说它可以相容至那个 MongoDB 的 API， 然后也有这个 table storage。
This week at Build, we're announcing a bunch of great new improvements to Cosmos DB.
其实它也支援一般的 SQL。
That help developers achieve, in some cases, up to 10x cost savings.
好，这个新的宣布就是加入了 multi-master 的写入资源。
Which is multi-master write support. Cosmos DB now supports unlimited read and write scalability by virtue of a highly decentralized masterless replication protocol support. This guarantees single-digit millisecond reads and now writes response time at the 99th percentile anywhere in the world, which is something no other database in the world delivers today. And with its unique adaptive entropy protocol, Cosmos DB significantly reduces write conflicts, which makes it much easier to build multi-master write scenarios and applications. In the event of a write-write conflict, Cosmos DB supports both a well-defined policy based programming model that's built into the transaction system, as well as the ability for developers to add their own custom logic conflict. These are incredible innovations that really enable you to build truly planet-scale applications. And what I'd like to do now is invite Rima, who's one of the core architects of Cosmos DB, on stage to show off an example of how easy it is to use this multi-master write support to build amazing cloud solutions. Here's Rima.
Thank you, Scott. Good morning, everyone.
It's
really exciting to be at Build here this year. Now, imagine you want to build a planet-scale intelligent app serving millions of users all around the world. In this demo, I'll show you how easy it is to take any app and scale it globally using multi-master capability in Azure Cosmos DB. Now, to show you the benefits of multi-master for global scale apps, we have built a multi-user interactive canvas with millions of pixels, inspired by the Reddit Place experiment. This app is running across all Azure regions with the data stored inside Cosmos DB and replicated across all Azure regions as well. The app needs to deliver instant writes and instant reads to millions of users worldwide. In this demo, I'll show you two canvases, one pointing to replica in West US, and another one is pointing to replica in Japan West. Users in those regions can draw and view each other's drawings in near real time all over the world. Now let's see this in action. So I will go to the canvas in West US and pick a color. And while I'm drawing, Ben is going to be drawing in Japan West. And I can say Cosmos DB, and as you can see, we can see each other's drawings in near real time.
那左边呢是在这个日本西部 Japan West， 它也可以接收，然后它也可以就是它也可以作画，它的内容两边都可以互相 push。
This canvas is stored inside Cosmos DB. So let's take a look at how this data gets stored inside Cosmos DB. I can come to the portal, click on the Data Explorer, and view this data. All of the pixels, the locations of the pixels, and the colors that get chosen by the users.
就是他们画画的这个轨迹，还有颜色这样子。
We're going to open up this application to all of the users worldwide, so all of you could participate in this globally distributed drawing experiment.
所以当其中一个人开始在画画的时候，这些资料绘画的资料就立刻写到这个 Cosmos DB 里头。那另外一方接收方也可以立刻读取出这些内容，然后把画画呈现在它的画面上面。
Azure Cosmos DB, as a natively built in the cloud service, was carefully engineered with multi-tenancy and global distribution from the ground up. With its turnkey global distribution capability, I can come to the world map, I can pick the regions where I want my data to be, click the Save button, and that's it. The data gets seamlessly replicated and becomes available for querying locally in those regions. And as I'm adding and removing those regions, my application does not need to be paused or redeployed. It continues to be highly available, thanks to the multi-homing capability that Cosmos DB provides. Now, the key thing that I want you all to remember is that independent of the data scale, whether you're working with a petabyte or hundreds of petabytes of data, independent of the data model or the data distribution, or potential failures that may occur when you're running at such a massive scale, Cosmos DB continues to provide you with a single system image for all of these globally distributed resources. This is something that no other database in the world can offer you today. Now, the multi-master, and not just any multi-master, but the multi-master at true global scale. With its natively built-in multi-master capabilities in Cosmos DB, application developers get numerous benefits. Number one is you get unlimited inelastic write scalability all around the world. You can perform trillions of writes and reads every single second on a single globally distributed Cosmos database, whether it happens to be a graph or a table or a collection of documents. With the natively built-in multi-master support, you get 5 nines write availability all around the world, in addition to the 5 nines read availability, backed up by the industry-leading SLAs. With the natively built-in multi-master capability, you get a single-digit millisecond write latency guarantee at the 99th percentile all around the world. Now, databases that offer masterless replication can give you low latency writes, and they can give you high write availability, typically trading it off for consistency. What is truly unique about Cosmos DB multi-master replication is that it composes incredibly well with the multiple well-defined consistency models that the service offers you. So developers can make precise, intuitive, and well-defined trade-offs with respect to latency, consistency, high availability in Cosmos DB. With databases that support multi-master replication for active-active workloads, write-write conflicts are rampant. What that typically means, multiple users could be drawing to exactly the same pixel at the same time. This forces developers to add that logic to their application and participate in the multi-master replication protocol. In Cosmos DB, we wanted to remove all of that burden away from the developers. So Cosmos DB, in addition to its anti-entropy protocol that tries to reduce the number of record-level write-write conflicts down to the minimum. But in the case when the conflict occurs, developers can pick among multiple, flexible conflict resolution policies. Cosmos DB supports automatic policy with the native CRDT support. You can also write your logic in the form of a stored procedure as a custom conflict resolution policy, or use last write wins.
它有提供几个 policy 可以让你去这个避免 conflict， 或者说解决 conflict 的问题 ，resolve conflict 的问题。
And the capability where the developers can add
所以等于帮助你减少去烦恼这个 write-write conflict 的问题。
Cosmos DB becomes a ubiquitous choice for the modern application development in the intelligent cloud, intelligent edge era. Every single app that you're building could transform the world that we're living in. And if your app happens to need a database, we sure hope it's going to be Cosmos DB. We're very excited to see what you're going to build with Cosmos DB. Thank you so much. Back to you, Scott.
Thanks very much. So let's now drill into how you can take all of your data and use it together with AI to add true intelligence into your applications. Our goal with Azure is to enable every developer to easily add AI to their applications. With our Azure Cognitive Services, we enable you to easily call pre-built AI models that we expose through API services. As you heard from Satya this morning, we provide great AI models to do things like speech-to-text translation.
Azure Cognitive Service 就是我们希望让每一个 developer 都透过很简单的方式，可以直接在 application 里面加上 AI 的能力。
Java, Python, and Node SDKs. Now, in addition to calling these
这些服务都是 web-based 的这个 service， 所以你可以直接的呼叫。 也有这个SDK。那今天这个 announcement 就是在 Azure Search 上面加上 Cognitive Service 的能力。Azure Search 本来是 Azure 上面的一个做这个 index 搜寻的服务。那今天这个是整合 Azure Search 跟 Cognitive Service。
Things like face and object detection, sentiment analysis, and video transcription, and just expose it directly as part.
加强这个搜寻的体验。
Now, we've worked with some great customers using our Azure Cognitive Services. One of those is the NBA, who are using it to deliver some really great experiences. And please join me in welcoming Garth Case from the NBA to talk a little bit about the work they're doing with us and what this experience enables. Here's Garth.
Thanks a lot, Scott.
接下来的这个 demo 就是示范，介绍 NBA 是怎么样使用 Cognitive Service。
So, I'm going to start out with a question. Show of hands. How many NBA fans do we have in the room? Okay, it's a reasonable amount.
先回到那个 Azure Search。Azure Search 是Azure 上的一个 PaaS 服务，那它可以提供给你一个非常简单的方式，对 SQL Database 这样子的资料库呢做个全员检索。那它用来减轻 SQL Database 对全员检索的负担哦。把这个检索的功能放在一个独立的 PaaS 服务上。那我们看看那个 Cognitive Search 来做对 Azure Search。
The answer might seem cliche, but it truly is because of the people. Working for the NBA, I've had the opportunity to meet and learn from the best and brightest in sports. Now, for those of you that don't know, during the NBA regular season, 30 teams play 82 games. Each game generates terabytes of content. As you can imagine, this much information makes it difficult to manage and curate and get insights delivered consistently across all our internal and external channels. Now let's talk about the NBA's journey to finding a solution to our growing data problem. 18 months ago, when we first started to organize and understand our data, we started like most, thinking that we could build a data lake and that would solve all our problems. But our data lake quickly became a data swamp. And it was difficult to hear important signals in the data through all the noise. Even though we had designed the perfect analytics layer, we needed something more. We needed a learning layer. Okay. All right. Analytics layers are usually active post-ingest of data, but a learning layer could be active through all stages, from ingest all the way to archive. It would help us organize and graph our data, surface patterns that connect dots and allow us to focus on the high-value information. We would now be able to hear the signals loud and clear. This pivot in our journey meant that we were no longer building just a data lake. We were building a smart data platform. This revelation gave birth to many use cases and scenarios. Most of them related to data mining, process automation, and decision intelligence. As I searched for technologies that we could use to build our smart data platform, I saw a demo where Microsoft used an AI-driven approach to understand the recently released JFK files. They were able to run thousands of unstructured documents through their system and build a knowledge graph using a set of AI models and services. Their use of new cognitive capabilities in Azure Search, as well as leveraging custom and pre-built AI, appeared to be the perfect recipe for a cocktail that would enable us to understand our content and add the layer of learning and intelligence we needed to build our smart data platform. Now, as we built the platform, we also developed plenty of value-driven use cases and scenarios. One of these use cases in production today is the application called NBA Photo Sorter. The name is not terribly creative. I know that. But please feel free to tweet me if you have any suggestions. Before the photo sorter was created, the effort of tagging photos took a very, very long time. It was extremely manual, resource intensive, and sometimes inaccurate. Now, with the help of Azure, photos and other types of content can be automatically tagged and related quickly and increased accuracy. The photo sorter has already aided us in quickly tagging VIP photos from our events. These photos are turned into printed and digital albums, which are given to VIPs as a personalized gift. But this example is just the beginning. As we get more insight from our data, I see a future where we can not only further automate our business, but use the system to connect our channels and drive personalized, value-based engagement with our fans across the world. Together with Microsoft, we've embarked on a journey to bring AI into the world of the NBA across all types of data and content. My intent is to use AI to power the next generation of experiences for our employees, our teams, fans, everyone around the world. I have one plug before I turn it over so you can check out the photo sorter. At this very moment, we are in the semifinals of the NBA playoffs, where you can experience the excitement of watching the best athletes in the world compete for the title of NBA champion. I hope that you all will tune in and share the excitement with me. Now I'll turn it over to, I think, I don't have her name. Paige?
Yeah.
Is that your name?
Yep.
To do our demo. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks so much, Garth. So as we just learned from Garth, the NBA truly is a data-driven organization. And here we've ingested all of the NBA's content, so videos, images, text documents, player telemetry, into blob storage on Azure. And we've applied cognitive skills to enhance and annotate that data. So I'm from Houston, which means that the only James I care about is James Harden. But I understand a lot of folks on this coast like LeBron. So let's see what our cognitive skills can tell us about LeBron. Here, our Face API has automatically detected LeBron in this image, and it's been trained on all of the players, owners, and coaches in the NBA. So not only do we have his face, we also have lots of other additional metadata, such as emotion and age. So how does the king feel as he's about to score an epic shot in front of tens of thousands of people? Neutral. It was completely in the zone. And this guy looks like he's about to be sad in about 5 seconds. But it's not just about LeBron. How does he relate to other entities in and around the NBA? Let's take a look at the knowledge graph that Cognitive Search has automatically created for us. So this is interesting. It looks like our AI skills have detected that there's some sort of relationship between LeBron and Nike. So let's explore that a little bit further. Here, our object detection API, which has been trained on all sorts of items that you would expect to see in the NBA. So basketballs, hoops, players, shoes, and even specific brands of shoes have determined that LeBron apparently loves wearing Nikes. And so now we know a little bit more about his fashion sense. Let's try and take a look at his performance. So how is he as a defensive player? We get back a short video that our video indexer API has automatically annotated and transcribed, showing LeBron make a defensive play. So he's good at offense, he's good at defense. How is he as a player all up? That's usually done with something called game notes. These are PDF documents created after every single NBA game, and they contain a wealth of information. So player stats, scores, play-by-plays, and we could look through every single one of these PDFs to try to build this player top performers column here on the right. But since we've already extracted all of the text from the tables and the documents themselves, we're able to build a custom algorithm with Azure Machine Learning to extend cognitive search. So this all sounds kind of like magic, right? Like being able to apply cognitive skills to the data that you've already got in Azure. So how easy would it be to go about creating this solution for yourself? Let's dive into the portal and see. So if I wanted to create a search service, all I would need to do is go to Create Resource, Web, and then click Azure Search. Or you could just search for search, I guess. But since I've already created one, let's take a look at the NBA content search service that's powering our application. If I wanted to import data, I would connect to my data source, and I can use a variety of things. So SQL databases, SQL data warehouses, Cosmos, Azure Blob Storage. And if we take a look at our existing data source, this NBA docs content, we get pulled up the container with all of the items that we've seen before. So our videos are automatically being annotated. I'm being transcribed. Our PDF documents are having the text extracted, and the images automatically documented and described.
可以看到就是 Azure Search 它整合了 Cognitive Service 的功能，比方说取出这个里面人物的名称，或是这个厂牌啊、地点，或者是它的这个文字，这个都是结合了这个 Cognitive Service 跟 Vision 相关的这个能力。
We get back every single instance. I can even do more complex queries. So search equals LeBron.
即便是刚才像是这个杂志内页的这个照片，它也可以萃取出相关的这个文字，然后在 search 上面就可以拿这些文字来做 index， 好让你可以去更方便的去 search 你的内容。
Being able to apply AI to the data that you already have stored on Azure. This capability is only available with us on Microsoft's Azure platform. And they're available for public preview starting today. So I can't wait to see what you create with this AI-first approach to cognitive understanding. Thanks so much, guys.
So the great thing about Azure Cognitive Services is that you don't have to be an AI expert in order to take advantage of AI within your applications. But we also know that a lot of you want to be able to build your own AI models and tailor them to your precise business needs. And we provide a great way to do that on Azure. So when you typically want to build an AI model, you typically walk through a workflow where you do 3 things. Step 1 is where you prepare your data. Step 2 is where you build and train an AI model from it. And step 3 is when you deploy the model and start using it within an application. Let's walk through how we're trying to streamline all of these things using Azure. I'm going to start with sort of a simple example to illustrate these 3 steps. And that is trying to build an AI model that can help answer the question of how much a particular car is worth. So step 1 of this process, again, is to prepare my data. Now, data scientists building AI algorithms spend on average about 80% of their time doing data preparation steps, working from multiple data sources and merging the data together, finding and fixing anomalies and outliers, and standardizing on formats. It's a really arduous task, and a lot of people often refer to it as data wrangling. Our Azure Databricks service is an Apache Spark-based analytics service that's optimized for Azure. It enables you to quickly launch and scale up Spark clusters on demand. It includes a rich interactive workspace that makes it easy to build Spark-based data workflows.
它是一个 Spark-based 的这个服务。那除了你可以在上面这个快速建立这个可以让你 run Spark 环境的 cluster 之外，它也提供了这个可以共同编辑的这个notebook。那你可以在上面这个跑你的这个程式或者是测试，所以那它可以拿来做这个 real time 的 streaming 的 process， 也可以做 batch 的 process， 所以它是一个非常功能强大的平台。
And this process of building, training, and testing the model is going to be iterative as I evaluate various different attributes and hyperparameters to more accurately fit the model as part of my solution. And our Azure Machine Learning Service helps dramatically with this process. It enables you to train and evaluate models on any number of servers within Azure. You can literally scale up from using just one server to build and train your model to literally running across hundreds of thousands of servers with just a single parameter change in your application. Azure Machine Learning enables you to use every popular data science and AI framework out there.
Azure Machine Learning 就是协助你可以把你撰写好的这个training model 的程式 deploy 到远端的这个伺服器来执行。
These can dramatically improve both the performance of your AI models as well as the speed with which you can go ahead and build solutions with them. And once you have built an AI model with our Azure Machine Learning, you can then package it up into a Docker
训练好的 model， 最后一步当然是要把它 deploy 成 service， 才可以结合，才可以结合你原本的应用程式来使用这个训练好的 model。
Or Azure Batch Service, if you want to.
所以 Azure Machine Learning 结合了 Docker Container 的技术，可以让你更方便的 deploy 在不同的环境里头来把这个服务跑起来。例如 Container Service 的 Cluster 或者是 Iot Edge。
Including on-premises environments. This gives you maximum flexibility to use AI literally everywhere. And the great thing is you can take these sort of 3-step flows and use it with any data stored inside Azure, and make any application you work on much more intelligent. Now, what I'd like to do is invite Starbucks, who is another great customer of Azure, on stage. to talk about how they're leveraging both our Azure data services and AI services to transform their customer experiences. So please join me in welcoming Jeff Wiley on stage here to talk about Starbucks and the great work they're doing. Here's Jeff.
Good morning. Can I borrow that?
Sure.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here. Hope you're having a great morning so far. This is great. And it is my pleasure to have the opportunity to spend a little bit of time sharing about how an iconic brand like Starbucks is being transformed by many of the same technologies that we've heard about this morning. Many of you know us, but let me share just a little bit more about what Starbucks looks like today. We have 28,000 stores around the globe, over 300,000 partners who proudly wear the green apron in 77 countries around the globe. All of this equates to over 100 million occasions each week where our customers visit a Starbucks store. And that equates to about $22.5 billion of revenue last year. We like to say at Starbucks that we earn that $22 billion $5 at a time. So how does all that happen? Well, our company has been built over the last 40 years on 3 really important pillars. Number 1, hire great partners who care passionately about the craft of coffee and who care about the customers that walk into our stores. Number 2, build innovative and exciting handcrafted beverages and unique food offerings, such as our brand new Nitro Cold Brew. If you haven't experienced it yet, it's life-changing. I promise you will love it. And finally, stores that are welcoming and a great place to refresh and relax, which many of you have come to call the third place. But we've added a 4th pillar recently, and that is technology, because we believe that technology is the enabler at Starbucks to spread that experience everywhere. Let's take a little bit of a closer look on what that technology is doing to transform our systems. We're looking to use technologies like blockchain to track our coffee around the world from bean to cup. We're using data and modeling to share best practices with our coffee farmers around the world. We're developing systems to optimize inventory so we are delivering the right products to every store at the right time, while at the same time delivering or reducing waste. And finally, we're creating new capabilities that optimize scheduling for partners, those 300,000 partners in the stores, to make sure that they're there when they're needed. And let's not forget our industry-leading mobile application, where we're leveraging scalable infrastructure that adjusts automatically as demand changes throughout the day. But probably the biggest transformation for Starbucks as a whole is in our partners, who have been able to innovate faster and build solutions more quickly for our business than ever before. So what do all these have in common? Well, every one of these projects leverages cloud platforms like Microsoft Azure, which enables us to move faster and build better solutions. We're also partnering closely with great companies like Microsoft, who not only help us along this journey, but are teaching us as they go. Finally, another benefit we see from the cloud is our ability to deploy these solutions globally. We can build it once and leverage it anywhere around the world that Azure may be. It really is helping transform our business. So let me give you a specific example that we're super excited about. Over here you can see a typical store, and we have orders coming into that store, maybe a mobile order, maybe a drive-through, or maybe someone walking up to our register. Today, our partners do an amazing job to fulfill and craft those orders, but we do it in the order that or the sequence that the order came into the store. Things get made, things get picked up, and you can see we do our very best to satisfy our customers. But what if we could use big data and machine learning and AI on something as simple as creating coffee in our stores. And we could use those algorithms to help us optimize how we produce those orders. We still have the same number of orders coming in, but maybe that drive-through order is just a cup of coffee. So we're going to fulfill that first, instead of first in, first out like it is today. And once that's complete, we've now handcrafted that large order for our mobile customer, and it's there, ready, right when they need it. We're super excited about this capability because it enables our partners in the stores to focus on our customers and not spend time trying to figure out how to manage that queue. And we're leveraging things like Azure Cloud and the capabilities like Service Fabric, IoT Hub for our connected devices in the stores, and back-end data stores like Cosmos DB to enable all of this and make it happen. Who knew there was so much technology behind a simple cup of coffee? Our mission at Starbucks is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. And together with partners like Microsoft and technologies like Azure Cloud, we strive every day to fulfill that mission. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks, Jeff. So you heard about how Jeff is, and Starbucks is using Azure to better improve their customer experience. Let's now walk through an example of the steps involved to build an AI model for a scenario like this. And to do that, I'd like to invite Paige back on stage to show us how. Here's Paige.
Hi again. Awesome. So if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know it's an art and a science to prepare a complex order at precisely the right moment for a customer to arrive. And what we have here is a restaurant owner's dream. Orders come in on the right, I click on them to confirm them, and they're automatically placed in the correct order on our order queue. So I'll complete Harvey's order, then Francis's, then Barbara's, and I am sure that all of them will be ready at precisely the right time as my customer arrives. So how would we go about creating this solution backed by a deep neural network? Let's dive into Azure and see. So here I am in my Azure portal using something called a Databricks notebook. And this is an interactive, collaborative programming space for data scientists and software engineers to work together. Using Databricks, you can pull in data from a variety of sources. So here we're grabbing stuff from SQL Data Warehouse, Cosmos DB, and also some static CSV files that we have hosted on blob storage. Once our data's been pulled in, we can prepare it, remove outliers, remove null values, get it into a nice rectangular data format, and then use that to build and train our model using any framework, as Scott mentioned. So if you like TensorFlow, use TensorFlow. If you like MXNet or Cognitive Toolkit, you can use those too. And then once your model's been trained, and once our hyperparameters have been tuned, you can package it up into a container and then deploy it anywhere you choose. So locally on an IoT Edge device, or even at scale on a Spark cluster in the cloud. And any developer in your organization can then call that model just as easily as they would a cognitive service. So let's take a look at what that would entail. So first, we bring in our data. And if I click Shift-Enter, automatically, we're sending a request to the Spark cluster to pull in data from our SQL Data Warehouse. I even have data streaming in live from Cosmos DB.
他这边就在示范用 Azure Databricks 一边处理在这个 SQL Data Warehouse 里面的这个资料 batch 的处理，还有就是 real time 从 Cosmos DB 来的资料做 stream data process.
Now that all the data's been ingested, it's time to prepare it. So we probably don't want to keep these outliers. That would probably skew the model that we're building. So if I want to remove them, I would do orders.total order amount less than, say, 200. That seems reasonable. I click Shift-Enter again, and automatically my graph changes. So that looks like a much more representative sample. Now that we've got our data in a great state, it's time to join it and prepare our model. Here we have a neural network with 2 hidden layers, and we have 200 nodes per layer. As I mentioned before, this is backed with TensorFlow, and we're using Keras as the developer-facing front end. So what we can do with Azure Machine Learning is we can train and then change minutely some of our hyperparameters, make small modifications to our model to see how that impacts our performance over time. We're aiming for high accuracy and to reduce loss as much as possible. So here you see a whole bunch of runs of our model with those minute hyperparameter changes. And lower is better. I know that's kind of counterintuitive for a performance graph, but you want to minimize your loss over time. So here it looks like that orange model is the best performing one. So that's the one that we'll package up in a Docker container and then deploy to use as the backend for our application. So we'll create a schema.json file to define inputs and outputs. We'll create a Python script to initialize and run the model, and then we'll deploy it using Azure Kubernetes Service. So now that it's been created and deployed, I click Shift-Enter with some prospective restaurant orders, and we get back an output with score categories and confidence levels. So any developer in my organization can call this REST service exactly as they would a cognitive service. As you can see, on Azure, you're capable of using any machine learning framework you choose. You can pull in data from a variety of sources, and you can use Databricks notebooks as a first-party solution. And we're the only cloud service provider that offers that functionality. I can't wait to see what you build with AI on Azure. Thanks so much.
So we've covered a lot of new services and capabilities that we're releasing with Azure today, and walked through some of the amazing opportunities that are out there for all of us to build great new applications with it for this intelligent cloud and intelligent edge world. I hope you enjoy the rest of Build. We're really looking forward to getting your feedback, and I can't wait to see the great applications that you build with Azure and across the Microsoft stack. Thanks so much, and have a great rest of the conference.
Oh yeah， 第一天的Microsoft Build 2018第一天的 Keynote 就到这边了。我们今天看到了很多关于 IoT、关于 Azure、关于 Microsoft 365的这些开发的议题。那时间很晚了，我知道大家都很想睡觉了。那我们今天的这个直播很感谢大家陪我们一起撑到最后。那这个片段我们之后会整理，然后做一个比较好的剪辑，再把一些重要的这个讯息整理给大家。好，那还有就是大家不要忘了，在台湾这个月底5月28号到30号是我们 Dev Days 的这个活动，好，那也是关于这个开发相关的题目。那里面很多的内容也都是从这个Build 这边原汁原味的空运来台，所以这个大家有兴趣的话，也可以这个关注这场活动。那今天有填写问卷的大家，我们之后会这个明天会在我们的粉丝团抽奖，好，然后我们再来看，如果你有这个填写问卷的话，明天不要忘记这个关注一下你的信箱，好，看看有没有这个抽奖抽到。好。那今天的这个 Build 直播，感谢大家的参与，那就到这边为止。好，大家晚安，谢谢。